Today, on an all-new Dr. Phil, is your spouse having a midlife crisis?
I don't want to end our relationship. I just don't want to be married.
He wants to have his cake.
Are you seeing other women?
No.
And eat it, too.
There's not anybody in America that believes that.
Plus,
Miles is very boring.
she's been unfaithful.
The affair, I never thought that would happen.
But what's her other secret?
She's been hiding something and wants him to know the truth. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
It matters to you. That's what I want to talk about. Are we ready in the booth?
Hey.
Let's do it. All right, imagine this. One day, out of the blue, your spouse just tells you, I don't want to be married to you anymore. I just don't. You sit there shocked until you realize that your spouse is nearly 50 years old. He's going back to the gym, getting a new wardrobe, joining Facebook, and wants to buy a Harley. Or it's a wife who says she's unfulfilled with you, wants to go back to school, and has a 2-year affair with someone she says is just more exciting. And then it hits you. These are all the signs that you have been thinking about as defining midlife crisis. Leaving your marriage torn apart.
My husband, Tony, is going through a midlife crisis.
I don't think I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm just trying to find my purpose in life.
Tony told me that he didn't want to be married anymore, but we just had a phenomenal marriage. I feel like I've been duped.
I didn't want that label of being married.
And he started to change his behavior. Tony started to worry about his appearance a lot more. He wanted to lose weight. He got his teeth whitened. They talked about things like liposuction.
I don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't try and take pride in my appearance and look good. I wanted to buy a new Harley Davidson. If I want to buy a shiny toy for myself, I think I deserve it. Well, I would like to take piano lessons. Why shouldn't I be able to do young, fun things?
He was wearing his wedding ring on his other hand. And when I asked him about it, he was like, it bothers my hand sometimes. Tony retired, and he got a private security job at a local casino. Tony made it pretty clear that he did not want me around the casino.
I like positive attention from females. I flirt.
I started to wonder if he was having an affair. He joined Facebook. Tony was becoming friends with a lot of women on Facebook.
I'm not actively looking for anyone else. I want that option.
The very next day, he said, I want a divorce.
When the divorce is final, I will have more freedom to do what I want to do.
You like being with me, don't you?
I don't like dealing with the pressure. I do love Jill. I don't want her out of my life. I just want to take care of me right now. I need to take care of Tony.
I want to shake him and say, what the hell are you doing?
Well, not a bad question. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, that's her question, right? Because you are on the brink of divorce, right?
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Do you want that? You want a divorce?
Yes.
You want out?
Yes.
And you're hoping what? To not do that?
Well, I have been hoping since we first split up, since he first told me, that he would change his mind. That, you know, let's go to counseling, let's go to church together, come with me, you know, do what you should do. And it's funny because we've watched your show, and so I've talked to him about, you know, be a man. You're the leader of the family. You don't just walk out. I get the fact that you know, sometimes don't want to have responsibility and want to go to the gym 5 nights a week or do whatever you want to do, but that doesn't mean you ditch your whole family. That's just not okay. What's wrong with you?
But that's what you're going to do. You are going to get the divorce. You don't think you're ditching everybody, but you're going to get a divorce.
Exactly. Right.
So why did you get married to begin with?
Well, because you know, I love Jill. I loved Jill at the time. Things were great, and I didn't want to lose her. I'm kind of a people pleaser, and I wanted to please her and make her happy. She had been saying, oh, I want to be engaged by the end of the year. I want to be engaged by Christmas. And
you actually told me I promise that by the end of this year, we'll be engaged. So when he says that, it was like he was saying it to me. He was saying, you will have a ring on your finger by the end of this.
So you didn't want to get married. Is that what you're saying? She pressured you into it?
Yeah, I felt pressure from her to do that.
But you could have said no.
I could have said no, but I didn't want to rock the boat, upset her, hurt her
So
feelings.
why rock it now?
Good question.
You didn't want to rock it then. You're rocking the hell out of it now.
Well,
You're 2 weeks from divorce.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know what? At some point in my life, I realized I need to start being more assertive and doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
Well, this
me.
is what kills me, is that he was a police officer for 20 years. So he knows how to be assertive. And I'm like, here I am, little old 5'2" me, saying to him, are you kidding me that you didn't want to marry me? Why not just say, Jill, I love you, I care about you, I've enjoyed our relationship, but let's just stay living together. I'm okay with that. And, you know, I'm like, so you marry me to bring me to this point. I'm 48 and now just go, okay, well, it's been fun and now I don't want to be married anymore. Like, it just...
What, do you want to be married to somebody that doesn't want to be married to you?
Absolutely not, which is why I was the one that initiated. I actually finally, even though he initiated...
So
saying,
you don't want the divorce, you just want him to not want the divorce. Because you don't want to be married to him if he doesn't want to be married to you.
No, yeah, I don't want to. I would like him to say, you know, something... and to me, I feel like it's more of a spiritual thing that, you know, say, I'm going to do what I need to do as a husband. I did make that commitment and I'm going to follow through. I wanted to follow through.
So you wanted to man up.
Absolutely.
And
I love when you say that, and I've said that to him a million times. Be a man, you have a family.
Okay, well,
and
here's what he has said to us about this. He doesn't want to be married because you got to check in with your spouse and you got to provide financially. He doesn't like the responsibility of another person's happiness. He said, I don't want to be accountable to anybody. You're pressured to spend time with your spouse. You don't have freedom to go do what you want, to go hang out with your friends and go bowling. And you get looked at strangely when you're married and you're flirting with other women. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just this whole, you want to go run and play. You just want to go date around and have a good time.
No.
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying this timing's not good. But that's what you're saying. You don't want people looking at you funny if you're flirting with other women.
No, I just feel, not that I want to go running around and dating, but I just feel that I want to be in a relationship, an in a committed relationship because I want to be in it, not because everyone says you have to be in it, or well, you did this, or you made your bed, so, you know, I don't believe you have to be married to have a good relationship with someone. But right at this point in my life, I need to take that. Something about marriage has some underlying pressure, that word marriage, the paper. You know, when you get married, right? You get married by someone religious in a church or by a priest, but when you get divorced, you go to court.
Yeah.
So
that's because the church doesn't want you to get divorced.
Right.
So you have to go somewhere else to get that done.
I didn't go to it. Well, we'll still be married.
No, we went away by ourselves to the Bahamas because, you know, it was simple that way.
You think he's having a midlife crisis?
Well, after he retired from the police department, he definitely changed. And that was only a year after we got married. So, you know, I was just trying to be understanding. Okay, well, maybe it's just he's lost this sense of identity, because I still have a career. I'm a teacher. And, you know, so I have a strong sense of who I am.
Are you having a midlife crisis? I mean, are you like in kind of a second adolescence or something?
I understand why people may say that.
Well, she says you got a job at a casino, you mingled with women and guys until like 3 in the morning. You stopped going out with your wife then. You started wearing your wedding ring on your right hand. And you started worrying about your appearance. Said you wanted to get your teeth whitened and liposuction, and you wanted to buy a Harley, and you wanted to get a boat, take a cruise.
Yeah.
Piano lessons. So he's going to become a Renaissance man.
Well, you know,
And I'm not saying that's bad, but I mean, but you can't share that with her.
But you know what's funny about this is, wait a minute. What's funny about this is that I'm 48. My children are grown. I make as much, if not more, than he does. So all this that he had said before, that being financially responsible to the other person, not being able to go out. We met at a health club. Okay, you were in a bowling league. I never stopped him from doing any of that stuff. I never did. And I almost wonder sometimes, it's like, you know, I think I was too easy. You know how you say, you know, you teach people how to treat you. I was like, you want to go? Go. Have a good time. I don't care, you know. And so he really kind of took it and ran. You know?
She didn't stop me from doing that stuff. But it's the guilt. It's the guilt that I feel, you know, the pressure of, oh, you went to the gym, you know, wow, why did you have to stay so long?
You do the same thing to me.
Go to the gym. It's like, you know, I can do my weight training. I do my half hour to hour of cardio. I do the pool, sauna, jacuzzi. Can't do that in an hour. You
do the same thing to me, though, Tony. Every time, if I go to the gym, look, oh, you've been going 3 hours,
That's because I'm being a little tit for a tat thing. I'm just saying that's what you do to me. I did it to you because you did it to me, so... You know,
they are definitely married.
It's like I want.
We got to take a break, and the bad news is when we come back, your mother-in-law has a few choice words for you. We're going to hear what they are next. We'll be right back.
I just don't want to be married. What about your friend Oprah, right? She's not married, but she's in a meaningful relationship. Why can't you be in a great relationship and not be married?
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My mother-in-law has given us her adopted son.
She can't handle her son's tantrums.
You're saying you're overwhelmed.
Extremely.
Overwhelmed is not an option.
They don't want him in an institution.
You don't just institutionalize a child because you can't get him to do what you want him to do.
If you can't do it, you can't do it. Give him to us and just be done.
I am not walking away from my son.
But you essentially have.
That's Monday.
Tony and I still have an intimate relationship. We see each other at least twice a week. He spends the night. We watch TV, we drink wine. It's like we're still married. But then he goes home. It's really, really hard because this is just not what I want. I don't want him to leave.
Do you think you're being used for sex?
No. No, I like being with him. We like to be together.
We have a great time together. I'm not
do.
getting divorced because there's a problem. She's a wonderful, amazing woman. She's the best relationship I've ever had in my life. But I just don't want to be married. Hey, what about your friend Oprah? Right? She's not married, but she's in a meaningful relationship. Why can't you be in a great relationship and not be married? Why do you have to be married? Seriously.
You'll have to ask her that.
Maybe you can get me on her show and I'll ask her myself.
Yeah. Jill says her parents are not happy. Take a look.
No. My relationship with Tony has caused problems with my family. My mom has told me that I was crazy for seeing Tony. She thinks that I'm making a mistake. My parents said to me many times that Tony's just using me. Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? They have made it very clear to me that they want nothing to do with him. If they think that I should forget about him, you made a mistake. You need to move on.
All right, well, Jill's mother didn't want to participate in the show because she didn't want to speak to you directly. But she did have this to say. She said, quote, "I'm not happy with what's going on. I think Tony is using her and he is not welcome in our family anymore. I think Jill should move on with someone who has integrity and honor, which obviously Tony doesn't."
If I didn't have integrity, I would just keep going on and not do what I wanted to do and just go along with being married. But I came out and said something. A lot of people out there, I'm sure, want to say something, and they don't.
Are you seeing other women?
No.
So you don't have a girlfriend?
Nope.
Because you know there's not anybody in America that believes that right now. I mean, I'm not saying you do. But because you've said you want to be able to go out and do things. Why aren't you seeing other women?
I'm trying to do me right now, take care of me. I don't feel the need to be with someone else. Jill and I have a great time together.
So you just want to start dating her instead of being married
No, I
to
don't
her?
want to end our relationship. I just want to end the marriage. I don't want to be married. I don't want that label of marriage.
And what's the burden of that label?
Pressure. Pressure. I don't know.
Well, what is it
It's
you
hard to
want to
explain. I
stop
can't put it into
doing?
words.
What is it you want to stop doing? You want to stop going to the same house as her every night?
I just want some freedom of choice to choose when and what I want to do, not because society says you're supposed to do this.
Look, I'm not trying to talk you into staying married. I don't know if that's what you want me to do or not.
No.
But I'm just trying to figure out what's really going on here, because there's something you're not saying, because what you do say doesn't all add up to your decision. Because if you didn't like the dynamics of the marriage, you could negotiate that with her. You could say, look, I need more freedom, or I want to have more time to myself. I want us to have some separate lives where you have your friends and I have my friends. And, you know, there were just different things that I want to do. And so I want to negotiate that. That's what you do in a marriage. You negotiate the relationship into something you want. And you say that you love her. You're obviously attracted to her at least twice a week. You're attracted to her, right?
Every day, first thing in the morning, he sends me a text. Good morning, sunshine. Have a great day. Love you. XOXO. Every single day. He does that. Every day he texts me or calls me at night to say good night. All the time. If I need something done, I'm having surgery, he takes me to the doctor. My car broke down. I had a flat tire. He came and got me. I mean, this is not just like, you know, booty call stuff like weekend, oh, hey, what you doing? I'll come over. That's not at all. And I know, I mean, believe me, I absolutely thought with every fiber of my being there had to have been somebody else. But I know Tony pretty well, and he had serious trust issues with women before he met me. Big time. And I had always known from the beginning, he was like, as long as you don't cheat on me, we're good. And I said, I never will. I love you, I adore you, and I'm committed to you. And so that's why, although it seems to most people that he must have a girlfriend or whatever.
No, I mean,
you know,
that would be a common occurrence.
Of course
but
it is.
I guess my question is, why do you want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you?
I can understand people saying, oh, you must be dating, you must be having a girl, you're going to leave your wife for somebody else. I'm not going to leave her for anybody else.
You're just going to leave her. My question is, why do you want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you?
I don't think honestly, I don't.
No, I'm saying being married. You want to be married to somebody that doesn't want to be with you.
You know something? Because you know something? I think I made a mistake when I married him because, or at least had he been honest with me from the beginning, I wouldn't have married him. But I think we'd still have a relationship with each other regardless.
If you hadn't married him.
Yes,
And I didn't think we would have. That's why I asked her to marry me. Because I didn't want to lose her.
Right.
And she had, over the course of time, talking, whatever, she had said things, oh, well, I don't know if I can, marriage is important to me. Her faith is important. I don't know if I can just be with somebody and not be married. I want to be a wife. I want to be married. So that's in the back of my head.
But most women do. I think a lot of women do.
Well, of course. In the back of my head.
But I mean, it wasn't like I was going to have kids with him or anything.
He says that he felt pressured into this before. If he came back into it now, it would be because he was pressured into it again.
Well, that's why I'm kind of like, I'm sitting back and go, hey, you know what? If this was really kind of like my last effort to figure out what do I need to do for me?
Okay. Well, let me be very clear about what I think, at least. I think what you need to do is recognize that he doesn't want to be married to you.
Right.
Now, he may not understand all the reasons why. I mean, he's naming reasons, and those may be the reasons, they may not. But he's saying he felt pressured in this, expected to do it, pressured into it before. And if he came back into it now, it would be under the same circumstance. And the only thing worse than being in a dead-end relationship for 4 years is being in a dead-end relationship for 4 years and 1 day.
Right.
The sooner you know that this marriage isn't going to work,
Right.
the better off you are. And he's telling you this isn't going to work.
Right.
And you need to accept that, because you're not going to change your mind, are you?
About being married?
Yeah.
No.
To her.
No, I'm not going to.
You're going
you know,
through with this.
Yeah, because you can get married again if you want to get married.
Yeah, unless she's married to somebody else.
What?
Unless she's married to somebody else.
Right.
I would never get married again.
Right.
Not to him or anybody else.
Yeah, you don't
No
know that.
way.
Never say never. You
No,
don't
I
know
wouldn't.
that.
No,
you don't
no
know that.
way.
You
'Cause
don't know that.
Why bother? I was married for 20 years before I married him. I was 44. I thought, okay, I'm older, I'm smarter, I have my career, my education, my kids are grown up. Okay, this is the perfect time to do this.
Will you date?
I've gone out on dates at different times when we weren't speaking, but I wasn't, it was
But if somebody
so,
calls you and asks you for a date,
I've had guys call me and I say no.
will you go on a date?
No,
I mean, you're not just going to sit there and let
Not
him have
now.
his cake and eat it too, are you?
No, because I'm having my cake and eat it too. I am.
Okay.
I have a great apartment. He goes over there. I love where I live. I bought a dog. That's kind of like my companion now. So, it's my dog and me.
General public, people see what they see on the outside. They don't know what we have. They don't know what we're going through. They see what they see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can understand people saying, oh, you must be dating. You must be having a girl. You're going to leave your wife for somebody else. I'm not going to leave her for anybody else.
You're just going to leave her.
I'm not leaving her. I'm just getting divorced.
Well, you're divorcing her.
I'm not leaving her.
You just want to change the legal status.
Exactly.
He wants to change the venue, too. I think that having
I've had a problem with trust. I've had trust issues growing up. I was in law enforcement for 20 years. I see people who can lie and sneak and fool you and you don't know it. But sometimes people do things for their reason, not to do things to hurt you. I've been hurt before. Didn't know it, didn't see it coming. I have trust issues. I just want to not have to be married.
Do you
legally.
think you'll grow old with her?
Probably, yeah. If you don't talk her out of being close to me and stuff, people want to butt in, and you got haters out there who just don't like what you have because they're both having a good time and they don't like it. Oh, you shouldn't be like that. You should,
No, hey, listen, I'm the least judgmental person you ever met. Promise me, what works. And if that works for you, but she's not happy about it, and she may or may not be around when you want her to be.
She was less happy before when she wrote into your show. She's starting to understand more now as time goes on. And I've proven to her that,
being nice to her.
It's not like I'm trying to dump her or get rid of her.
Yeah. He even through the whole splitting up, he never stopped being kind as far as behavior. Some of the things that he said, of course that hurt me. I don't want to be married, the pressure, but I realized it wasn't just about me.
So, am I summarizing this right? You want to cancel the paperwork and have a part-time relationship because you want time for yourself.
Right now, I do.
Okay, and if she's available later, if you want to upscale that and she's available later, then you would, and if she's not, she won't.
Exactly.
And that's a risk you're willing to take.
That's a risk. I've thought about the loss that I have. Like I said, she's the best relationship I've ever had. She's a wonderful, amazing woman. She's done a lot for me, and I don't want to lose her, but I don't want to be married. I need to take a chance and do things for me sometime. And this is what I'm doing for myself. And I'm actually being honest to her and not just going along with this marriage thing because I'm supposed to.
And you're going to continue to see him?
Well, it's,
We talked about that.
When the show's over, I'll have a better idea, I guess.
Well,
I think, your counsel and your, guidance kind of helps.
I'm going to add another couple. I'm going to talk to another couple. I'm going to let y'all hear everything that we say there, and then I've got a question for you. And this next story, he blames his wife. So she's had a 2-year affair and says that's a midlife crisis, so it's flowing the other way. We'll talk to them after the break.
had an affair. My gentleman friend made me feel alive again.
She feels like a trapped animal. That's what it's like to live with her.
I haven't kissed my husband Miles in over 4 years. Miles is very boring.
My next guest, Miles, blames his wife's 2-year affair on a midlife crisis.
My husband Miles believes I'm going through a midlife crisis. Turning 50 has really been very scary for me.
Her actions are somebody seeking excitement that a 20-year-old would want.
I'm full of energy, I'm full of life, and I'm bored. I want more out of life. I'm from the big city, and I enjoy socializing. I'm not content just living in a small town. I've never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I want a career. I need more excitement.
With her 50th birthday come and gone, she is very panicky about achieving goals and more focused on youthful adult activities.
Miles just doesn't have a sparkle. Miles is very boring. I had an affair. Miles believes that that was the beginning of my midlife crisis. My gentleman friend made me feel alive again. I lived with my gentleman friend for close to a year.
I was devastated.
Miles was threatening to take my children away from me, so I had no choice. I had to move back in with Miles.
She feels like a trapped animal, pacing around. That's what it's like to live with her.
I haven't kissed Miles in over 4 years. Sex can happen, but there's just no intimacy. I'm not in love with Miles. I don't know if I ever have been in love with him.
Well, that's pretty frank.
Yes, sir.
You say you don't know if you've ever been in love with him.
That's right.
You don't want a divorce.
There's been quite a lapse or quite a duration of time. I think that time's it's time to go. It's time to leave.
You do think it's time to shut it down?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything he can do to make you happy at this point?
I would love to make things work with Miles, but Miles gets very short with me and wants me just to take some money, take my car and go. And he was threatening court action against me to take my children away. That's why my relationship with my gentleman friend ended, because there's no man that's going to take me from my children. I now have a granddaughter also. I just want some happiness in life, and my age has really hit me hard. I'm wanting more for a career where we live is very isolated. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing for me. I feel I'm always giving, and he's not giving anything to me, so...
But aren't you blaming him for, I mean, you say you don't feel like there's a purpose in your life, et cetera, but you kind of laying all this at his feet. Why is it his job for you to have a purpose in your life?
No, it's not his job to have a purpose. No. Miles has gone so much. He's quite content being a small town man. That's where he has grown up and lived, where I've lived in the big city. And I would like to know that maybe there's a chance for us to move, to do something, but we have a family land. We've got to stay there. It's like, you know, give me something else here to go with.
See, here's the thing that I'm trying to impress upon everybody. Relationships are negotiated. I mean, you have to be willing to have some give and take in a relationship. I mean, one person wants one child, another person wants 4. One wants to live in the country, another in the city. Somebody wants a career, another wants to be stay at home. I mean, at some point, everybody has these frictions, and you got to negotiate it. Mm-hmm. You don't just go have an affair and then quit. I mean, that doesn't work. I mean, there's no way that bringing a third party into a relationship is ever going to make it better.
No. I mean,
that's not going to make it better, not ever, under any theory or circumstance.
But when you live with somebody and you're ignored, and when they do come home, you're snapped at for things. The affair, I never thought that would happen. Like you just said, never say never. But there was a spark, there was a friendship that had developed, and it happened.
And so then you compare this relationship to that relationship. Because you said the affair made you feel alive, made you feel vital. Well, it's real easy to be charming a couple hours a week. You're not having to share bills and kids and the damn dailies, all of those things. That's why it's not a fair situation and circumstance, because you're comparing apples and oranges. That's kind of a fantasy existence.
But I did move in with the man.
Well,
it became very tense, and I couldn't stay in the family home. I had to let my children stay there. I was 2 miles away from where they were, back and forth, looking after 2 homes. And I had to go back. I don't have any money. He has it. I had a career in my 30s.
Are you leveraging her with the kids and money?
I'm not leveraging her for the kids or money. What I want is, if she's so inclined to leave, get yourself organized. Get yourself set so you're not uprooting the children and removing them from their lifestyle, their community, into a totally different environment in which they're not familiar with. We have a preteen daughter, a boy that's 10 years old. I don't think it's beneficial to them that they be pulled out of their lifestyle.
I got to take a quick break. Now, next, Elaine says she has something big that she needs to tell Miles. We'll hear what that is when we come back.
It's very hard to be with Miles when my thoughts are with somebody else. I was very much in love with the other man. Miles and I can argue about the littlest things. Miles likes to throw things back in my face. I'm high maintenance. Your boyfriend dumped you because you're high maintenance. Name calling. Miles has called me a slut, and that just doesn't go well with me.
Well, Elaine says that she's been hiding something from Miles and wants him to know the truth. Take a look.
It's very hard to be with Miles when my thoughts are with somebody else. I was very much in love with the other man. To this day, I still have very strong feelings. I do communicate with my gentleman friend. When I respond to his emails, I always sign, "Love ya, L." Miles doesn't know this, no.
So you're still in contact with this person? Even though we just had this conversation that that's an all-around bad idea, bad deal, and you said, yes, I get that. It was a mistake. It is wrong. But yet you're still...
We get the twice a month say I've had emails, and I do respond to his emails.
Did you suspect that they were still in contact?
Yeah, I pretty well suspected that. It doesn't surprise me.
Right. How do you feel about that?
Oh, just a low-life tactic on his part. The man befriended me. He integrated himself into our family. Then he becomes socially active with us. He became my buddy. We went fishing on his boat together. Rode horses together. So, yeah, no, the guy he's just...
But he's moved away?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And you have no intention of hooking back up with him, or you do?
No, sir. He moved away, and then I received an email that he got married. Pretty good one, eh? Yeah. He got married, but I don't know.
So he's newly married.
He's newly married.
And he's still emailing you.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like a real catch. No, I mean, seriously, the guy, I mean, he's gone off and got married, and he's probably, what, a year married?
My sense of humor.
Yeah.
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 And then I respond back to it, and I have to learn how to just let that go.
So you are going to get a divorce?
I don't want that to happen. I don't want to take the kids away, but Miles is very angry with me, and I don't know how to get over that. Him to get over that. And I know what I'm doing is wrong, answering emails.
Well, having an affair with some guy and then continuing to stay in touch with him, that will tend to raise a little ire in your husband.
Yes. No.
You know, that does upset you, right? I mean,
considerably.
Yeah, and I don't blame you for that.
Especially when that's been something that she's maintained denial of, once again.
Yeah. Are you going to get a divorce if she doesn't?
Am I going to...
would you file for divorce if she doesn't?
It's currently on the books as divorce is there, but it's been stalemated now for quite some time.
Do you want to work on this?
To maintain a family unit is very important to me. I believe the children would be very proud to see mom and dad come and seeing them at the Christmas concert, partaking in their hockey tournaments, if you will, seeing us work together. As a household, we do work together very well.
Well,
We can all get along, but that...
yeah, but if it's an emotionally barren environment, if there's coldness in the home, I've said it a million times. I've had so many kids tell me they'd rather be from a broken home than live in one. And it's just tough. I've got some advice for both of these couples, very specific with verbs in my sentences when we come back. Today we've been talking about midlife crisis, or is it just an excuse, something that we assign to what happens when people have a change of heart. Tony, you guys have been married for like 4 years. You've known for 2 years that this wasn't the right thing for you, correct?
Yes.
And you guys have been married how long?
Since 2000.
Yeah, since 2000. So
But we've been together since 98.
Yeah, so you've got a history here. And, let me just tell both of y'all, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences that go with it. I don't care what you do, whether you stay married, you don't stay married, whatever. Every choice comes with a price, right? If you get a divorce, there's going to be a price that you're going to pay. You're going to give up certain things. Your children are going to pay a price if the two of you don't figure this out. Because kids that go through divorce, it does damage them. I mean, it hurts them. And kids have a unique way to figure out how problems in the family are their fault. I mean, they have this way of wrapping their head around, like, well, if we had been better kids, or if we hadn't caused this, they find a way that, even if they say our parents didn't love us enough to stay together. I mean, this is going to exact a price on these children. And it's going to exact a price on both of you couples. And I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe that in America, we get divorced too easily. We get divorced too easily. I think if you're going to get out of a relationship, you have to earn your way out. And when I say earn your way out, I mean you turn over every stone. You investigate every potential avenue of rehabilitation. You get help for yourself. You get help for the couple. You do everything you can before you quit. And if that means couples therapy, individual therapy, reading, exploring, taking a break, whatever you have to do, you do it. So at the end, you can look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and say, you know what? I did everything I know how to do. And you've had an affair. At some point, you're going to have to, no kidding, stop that. Now, this guy you've had an affair with has gone off and got married and is still now talking to you. Now, come on.
Yeah.
That's not a prize egg.
I'm a stupid woman. I realize that is.
But that's not
so
a prize egg that you've got there.
No.
Based on that, at some point, you've got to be willing to look your husband in the eye and say, "I'm done with that, and I will commit to trying to find some way to rehabilitate our family unit here."
That's why I came to see you.
And you've got to be willing to say, I am going to find it in my heart. I'm going to choose to forgive this, but he's got to know if and when he does that it's done. It's hard to forgive somebody for stomping on your foot while they're stomping on your foot. You got to at least quit stomping long enough for him to say, okay, that's in the past. But it's in the past. You got a current email from the guy. So, you can't do that. The thing to do for you may be to get a divorce. It may be, because you just may be at a point where you say, I can't give what I need to give. I'm going to go over here and focus on me for a time. And I don't think you ever invest so much in a relationship that if it fails, you become emotionally bankrupt. That's not good. You two, I can tell you two are not ready to get a divorce. Long suffering is not working. The fact that you've been suffering for a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, that's not earning your way out. That's not work. You're just suffering. There are things you need to do to try to find a way to renegotiate this, to rekindle things, to get focused on each other again. And I don't think you stay together for the kids, but I think you work at this and earn your way out so both of you can say, we're getting a divorce and we have no unfinished emotional business. And right now you have lots of unfinished emotional business. True?
Yes.
You have feelings. You have a lot of unfinished emotional business. You guys have unfinished emotional business. And if you do want to be in a relationship with her long-term, married or otherwise, you really need to focus on that unfinished business. You need to talk it through. She is hurt by this. She is damaged. She is in pain. She is feeling like, okay, I got married and I gave him my best. And it just wasn't good enough. I did, you know, I gave him the best of who I am, and he has said, sorry, not enough. And that hurts, does it not?
Yes.
And you talk to yourself about that when you're alone.
All the time.
If you do love her, and I actually believe you do, you need to tend to those feelings. We'll be right back. You know, we've been talking today about people just hit a midlife crisis, or do things just change in life? And, you know, I don't know what midlife crisis means. It's just a word. There are a lot of warning signs that most people use to define it. I'm going to put those on drphil.com. You can look at them and grade your own paper and see if you're in a midlife crisis. If you are, you know, maybe it's hormonal, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's circumstantial, maybe you're changing inside. But when we make commitments in our life, we need to take them seriously. And I'm glad we've talked about that today. It was two couples in very different situations. Thanks for being here today. So.
Today on Dr. Phil. Is this church?
I consider it a cult.
No one is forced to stay here.
Destroying this man's family.
Did God tell you to take your wedding ring off?
Yes, I believe he did.
What did I do wrong to warrant God telling her to throw her husband away?
You've just decided to go have children with someone else. Is it possible you're just having an affair?
I believe that my wife is under some severe mind control.
You feel duped because your marriage failed.
You're the puppet master, Doug.
He's my puppet master? You're seriously going to sit there watching me on stage thinking he's my puppet master?
You need to take responsibility for the people's lives that you have harmed.
I don't owe you anything. You're the enemy. You understand?
Let's do it. Why don't we stop all the drama, stop all the fighting, and let's go get you better.
Here we go. Have a good show, everybody.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, 3, take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Go, Dr. Phil. Well, today we are talking about a custody battle with a twist. A husband claims that his wife has been keeping his children in a religious group that he feels is dangerous. In fact, he thinks that it is very cult-like. Take a look.
A Houston man moved his family to a new state to start a whole new life serving God.
But he says they ended up inside a cult which cost him everything.
According to their website, they operate like a co-op. with about 70 members sharing apartments. But after a few months, Todd says his wife started hearing voices telling her to leave him to be with another man, which she eventually did.
I want to be a martyr for my Lord and my Savior.
I consider it a cult.
Todd is fighting for his marriage and custody of his kids. At the same time, he worries the fellowship may be growing more dangerous.
Well, the husband and wife are both here today and will face off for the first time in months. We're going to get to them in a bit. But first, who is Doug Perry and what is the Fellowship of the Martyrs? Now, is this a cult? I certainly don't know. I want to learn some things about it today, and I go at it with a completely open mind, and I hope you do too. Take a look at some of his cyber sermons.
I'm committed to doing everything that I can until somebody kills me or Jesus takes me home to utterly, completely destroy institutional church as we've seen it. Maybe you would agree with me that something needs to be done. Something big, something dramatic, something that's going to hurt real bad, and something that's probably going to cost a lot of people their lives to get it done.
And I want his temple to be pure, and I want his will to be done. And I believe him. He said we're done with the beard now. It's time to get serious. It's time to move on. It's time to get about our Father's business.
While Doug Perry obviously has supporters, he also has many critics who have accused FOTUM, as it is called, of being a cult. Now, is Doug a cyber preacher with a new religious point of view or movement, or some smooth-talking manipulator? Here's what he has to say.
It was about 8 years ago that I had the vision from the Lord about how things needed to change, and that's when everything started to shift in my life.
Hey guys, this is Doug with fellowshipofthemartyrs.com. Fellowshipofthemartyrs.com.
And so I started Fellowship of the Martyrs. I don't really have a title. I don't like titles.
I just want to be the most dangerous person to Satan on the planet.
I used to be respected by bankers and lawyers and pastors, and now my best friends are toothless, scary-looking homeless people. We've got ex-meth heads, ex-prostitutes. We've at times had registered sex offenders. We had one guy set himself on fire in the parking lot. We are not an organization. We are not a denomination. We are a statement about that the church needs to step up. Right now, we have posted on our channel about 900 videos. We're somewhere between 2.5 million and 3 million views on those videos. The internet accounts for about 50% roughly of the money that comes into the ministry.
Spiritual warfare is real.
Tear it out!
I'm one of many people that see demons. It's not a superpower. Demons are real. They might look sometimes like snakes or ticks or octopus.
I've been called the Antichrist.
God gave me the gift of tongues, as a lot of other people. And no, I'm not going to demonstrate on cue like it's a magic trick. It's the Holy Spirit speaking through you.
He says they ended up inside a cult.
I consider it a cult.
Dangerous cult.
Boy, I could live happily the rest of my life if I never heard the word cult again. Cult is such a useless word. People seem to decide that if they call you a cult leader, then they can dehumanize you and marginalize you. No one's being controlled. No one is forced to stay here.
Well, Doug took us on a tour of the Fellowship of the Martyrs grounds, where he says he hears God and also exorcises demons.
We're headed over to one of the townhouses to show you guys inside. This is the living room of one of our houses. Nothing much to it. We try to make it livable. This is the basement of one of the houses. Sometimes we have a mom and dad and a kid in one of the basements like this. We have a food pantry. We give away about 1 million pounds of food a year. We feed about 3,000 to 4,000 people a month. This is one of our crews coming back from our food run. We call it every morning. They go out and access the restaurants and grocery stores that would otherwise be in the trash. Nobody draws a salary. We just pour ourselves out and do the best we can to help in the community.
You say this all started when you had a vision.
That's correct.
You said that there was a trophy wall in the showroom, and you said one day I'm in there, and the Lord says, come in here and look at this. What do you think of this? And you said, well, you know, I think it's pretty cool. And he says, quote, I think it's all crap. Take it and throw it in the dumpster. This is a shrine to what you built in your power.
This is when I had my furniture store, and I had pictures of me and articles on the wall.
God said, I think it's all crap?
It was idolatry. It was a shrine to me.
But he used the word crap to you.
He pretty well talks the way we talk.
I mean, I would have thought he would at least said crappeth or something. Here's something Doug said about seeing people being instantly healed. Take a look at this.
I have seen people instantly healed, instantly freed from schizophrenia, from anorexia, from addictions to all kinds of drugs. Instantly stop smoking.
People were getting instantly delivered of addictions and depression and agoraphobia and even schizophrenia. I saw chronic pain leave people instantly. I've seen people healed of autism and lupus and Alzheimer's and fibromyalgia and others. I've seen people's leukemia go into remission. I've seen epilepsy go away permanently. I've seen bones healed instantly.
The implication for all of these people and good families that are suffering from autism and lupus and schizophrenia and Alzheimer's and fibromyalgia and all of these things that you're talking about suggests that if they're still suffering from this, then they don't really believe. And that to me is offensive to the sensibilities of those people that have these legitimate disorders, to just say if you would just believe, you could be healed from these things.
I've never said that. I'm not talking to you from a superstitious, religious, snake handling, whatever kind of a background, okay? I've got the academic background to understand psychologically versus spiritually, and spiritually works.
Now here's something that Doug said about the tragic school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut.
I have been praying specifically for Newtown, Connecticut for about 4 years. I knew that God wanted to do something there, that nothing happens by accident and nothing just sneaks across his desk without, him purposing it.
You said you've got 900 sermons on the internet, and in those 900 sermons, we couldn't find any mention of Newtown, Connecticut.
Okay.
Until 2 days after that shooting.
Okay.
Then 2 days after that shooting, you say, I've been praying about this for 4 years. But you didn't mention it in those 900 sermons.
And I didn't present it as some proof that I hear God either.
What is a rib?
A rib is a word that we use to talk about somebody that is spouse, bone of bone, flesh of flesh, marital wife, husband.
The reason I ask about that is because I have a letter here from one of the people that was a member of the church that now is not.
We don't have members.
Well, whatever, a follower, what would you call them?
I don't know. They came to hang out with us.
Okay, one of the people that came and hung out with you that says, what me and my family experienced at FOTUM, parentheses, deception, false teaching, and rampant sexual immorality, and what goes on behind the scenes is not shown in Doug's videos, was the most dangerous thing we have gone through. He said when we left FOTUM and warned others through his videos, testifying about what we saw, heard, and experienced, we had threats of violence from FOTUM members. Ex-members told them that they themselves were directed by Doug to pray for the violent death of me and my family.
Total, flat-up lies. Flat-up lies.
You had an expert that reviewed whether or not what you were doing rose to the level of being a cult.
Sort of.
And they opined that it was not a cult.
Right.
Actually, and you've cited that letter. You've referenced that letter, and they said that they didn't think it was a cult. This person said in researching FOTUM, yes, I said he could use the letter, but it was written simply to say I did not find mind control or cult activity at that time. It was not a blanket approval of FOTUM's teachings and practices. I am responding now in this public venue because of how my letter was misused in public. So in conclusion, repent your sins and get right with God. This is a letter to you.
This was a theological discussion after the fact
and there's nothing in the letter that says I've changed my mind about cultish behavior or mind control or anything else. There was just a disagreement about a theological point, which happens across, all 41,000 denominations we have in this country now.
All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to meet a father who used to follow Doug's teachings and is now calling him a cult leader as he fights to rescue the children that he left behind. We'll be right back.
After moving to the Fellowship of the Martyrs, our marriage began to decline. The biggest thing that shocked me was when Jennifer told me that last night God said to take my wedding ring off. Because of Doug Perry, my family and my life has been turned upside down and destroyed.
And later,
I really question what's going on at FODM. You're not taking responsibility. And this young woman, Jennifer, seems to be here, and you're the puppet master, Doug.
He's my puppet master?
Jennifer, is Doug ever wrong?
I've been wrong tons of times.
Name 3.
I don't owe you anything.
Name 3, Doug.
You're the enemy.
We're not going to fix the church with Happy and Fluffy. We're not going to fix the church with singing and dancing. Repent. Whatever it is. Rip it out. Pluck it out. Tear it out. Be done with it. However much it hurts. Reach in and grab it. Tear it out. We're running out of time.
That was Doug Perry, a controversial cyber preacher who founded the ministry Fellowship of the Martyrs, or FODM. He claims no one is being controlled or forced to stay at his headquarters in Missouri. But my next guest says that is not true and regrets the day he ever met Doug.
I found Doug Perry through the internet, watching his videos.
Fellowship of the Martyrs, the church, should be those who mean it all the way.
Doug wrongly taught that bad things were on the horizon, that the end times are now. Judgment's coming, and the safest place for you to be is in Liberty, Missouri. In June of 2011, I quit my job and we moved to Liberty, Missouri. Anything that we couldn't bring, we either sold or gave away. After moving to the Fellowship of the Martyrs, our marriage began to decline. Jennifer really latched on to Doug Perry. From the beginning, Doug saw how Jennifer really cared for me and loved me, and Doug told her, don't make your husband an idol. Jennifer was very upset that I was not listening to every word that Doug says. She was upset because I wasn't turning Doug into an idol for myself. Sexual promiscuity was a very big issue at Fellowship of the Martyrs. It is strongly advocated that you can hear a voice and it tells you that you're married to someone and then you're not married to them. You kind of bounce around from marriage to marriage. The biggest thing that shocked me was when Jennifer told me that last night God said to take my wedding ring off. So now God was telling her to do things that normally she wouldn't have done. This was totally out of left field. I was in shock, and I told her that this is not what God tells people. Jennifer said, I cannot sleep in the same bed with you because that bed is for you and your new wife. After that, I slept on the floor next to her on the couch to say, look, I'm not going anywhere. I still want this to work out. I do not believe that God said we were divorced. Doug had really ingrained in us that your own family will turn against you and kill you, thinking they are doing God a favor. I decided I needed to get out of there because it wasn't safe. It's total insanity. Everything was falling apart, and I was very concerned for my safety and my children's safety. I made a plan to leave in the middle of the night to leave with my children because I was in fear. I asked Jennifer to come with me several times, and she said if I leave the camp, I will die. I carried the children out into the van and left at 3 o'clock in the morning. Jennifer was not happy, obviously. She then started accusing me of kidnapping the children, trying to manipulate her and force her to come home. I was arrested for 4 counts of felony kidnapping. Jennifer filed for divorce while I was in jail. Because of Doug Perry, my family and my life has been turned upside down and destroyed. I still want to reconcile with my wife. I believe that my wife is under some severe mind control and she's under an influence of a cult.
And I want to be a martyr for my Lord and my Savior.
My biggest fear right now is I don't get to see my kids again.
You had all 3 of the girls there?
Yes.
How old?
At the time, they were 3, 4, and 6 or 7.
3, 4, and 6.
They were, yeah.
Okay. All right. And what came up about the girls having demons?
Well, the youngest girl, was having fits of rage where she would get upset. There was one instance where she woke up from a nap and was screaming, red-faced, crying, would not stop. And then they said, well she has a demon.
Who's they?
Members of the group.
Somebody there decided that she was demon-possessed?
She had a spirit of murder on her. And I believe Doug at one point agreed with that or said that she had a spirit of murder.
And then another daughter had a spirit of seduction?
Yes. She was
a demon of seduction?
Yeah, Doug actually labeled it as a spirit of seduction because Jennifer had a spirit of seduction that it needed to be taken out of her first.
Did you do an exorcism?
Well, no, I didn't.
Did somebody?
Well, I found out later on the child was screaming and appeared to look like she was in pain while they were casting demons out of her.
And she was how old?
At the time, she was 3.
3.
You're just leaving so much stuff out. That you came there, that you believed you heard God, that you believe demons are real, that you were totally on board at every step of the way, that you wore a prayer shawl everywhere, including to work because God told you to, that you haven't worn since because it'd make you look crazy. You're just leaving out tons and tons of stuff. And you were in my office and you were talking about a divorce.
No, sir. You are incorrect.
All right, next, James' estranged wife is here. We're going to hear what she has to say. We'll be right back.
Anyone who says this is a cult, this is the worst cult I've ever seen. I believe that Doug is a prophet. I felt very firmly in my heart that the Lord had said that my marriage with James was done. And James decided that that wasn't God, that I had heard it was a demon.
And later, is this a sinful relationship she's in?
She's going to have to answer to God for that.
Is it possible you're just having an affair?
I had grave concerns for my children living at Fodom. My youngest daughter would have fits of rage where she would scream and yell and cry. One of my other daughters was exhibiting some very unusual behavior of climbing on people, touching them and stroking them very inappropriately. She had said things like, I'm going to take you downstairs and have my way with you. And that very deeply concerned me. My children had been labeled as having demons on them, and they actually did try to pray demons out of her. I was told that she was screaming and yelling in pain while they were doing this.
Well, James says he's concerned for his children's safety after he claims Doug Perry, founder of the ministry Fellowship of the Martyrs, cast demons out of his young daughter. But his estranged wife, Jennifer, who is currently fighting him in custody court, has this to say about their contentious battle.
It was in January 2011, we came to Fellowship of the Martyrs. I really liked the sense of community and constant fellowship.
Have no fear of me.
Anyone who says this is a cult, this is the worst cult I've ever seen.
I know that the solution to every problem is get more Jesus.
Doug doesn't tell us what to do. He tells us to hit our knees and ask God. He's not controlling at all.
Let's pray, okay?
I believe that Doug is a prophet. A prophet is someone who speaks the words of the Lord. I knew that my marriage was in trouble for quite some time. One night in January of 2012, I was praying and I felt very firmly in my heart that the Lord had said that my marriage with James was done and to take off my ring. When I told James that I had heard the Lord say that our marriage was over, he cried. After a few minutes, he went from being tearful and repentant to being more resolute and hard. And no, God would never say that. God would never do that. You are still my wife. And he decided that that wasn't God, that I had heard that it was a demon, and that God would never do that.
We thank you, Lord, for this vessel.
That Sunday night, we had fellowship, and James did not go. When I got home from fellowship, the girls were already in bed. I didn't know what James was up to, but I felt like he was up to something. He locked the door, and he then turned around and started walking towards me, yelling and screaming, speaking mostly in tongues. But when he did speak in English, it was things like, "You are my wife. You will submit to me." At times, he kind of lunged towards me. That night, I was scared. The next morning, I woke up and the kids were gone. I believe that James took the kids for ransom to try to get me to do what he wanted me to do, believing that if he had them, I would obey him. I personally believe that James kidnapped the kids. James filed a restraining order against me, saying that I was in a cult and that the children were in danger if they were around me. I still love James very much, as my brother in Christ. I am now with someone else, and we have a 3-week-old baby together. I have no desire to resume a romantic relationship with James.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. And now, first off, let me ask you, you're still affiliated with or participate in the Fellowship of the Martyrs, correct?
Yes.
Is it a cult?
No, it is not a cult.
And you're free to come and go anytime you choose?
I am absolutely free to come and go as I choose. I don't have to report or check in with anybody.
Okay.
We just...
Do you think you've ever been brainwashed, mind controlled, in any way manipulated in your thinking or your behavior in any way whatsoever?
No.
So if you want to not go back there today, that's okay?
I could pack my bags and go.
You wouldn't be fearful for your safety or your life or your children in any way whatsoever?
No, in no way whatsoever.
And you're not saying that just because he's sitting right here?
No.
Did you have problems in your marriage before you went to visit in Liberty?
Yes.
And y'all are still married?
Yes, we are still legally married.
Okay, but now you consider yourself to be married to someone else?
Yes.
Is this a sinful relationship she's in?
She's going to have to answer to God for that. I'm not. It's not my job to enforce the Ten Commandments.
It sounds to me like you're more upset because you feel duped because your marriage failed.
Well, I was duped
So you're
all
looking
around.
to blame him, you're looking to blame me, you're looking to blame the ministry and not accept responsibility for anything that you did and you participated in. When I asked you just to apologize to me, why can't you apologize to me for taking the children from me for 2 months? You told me that you couldn't do it. So you can't accept responsibility for what you did, but you're able to point the finger and say it's because of him, it's because of her, it's
You weren't really
because of that.
interested in speaking with the kids for like 3 or 4, like a month during some of that time.
Do you know why I didn't want to speak to them? Because I didn't want to see them cry for me. Because I didn't want to have to answer their questions about, Mom, why aren't you here? Because I thought it would be easier for them if they just got to be on a little vacation with Daddy.
Later,
we're talking about children who are living in the equivalent of a homeless shelter.
Sir, I'm really not impressed by your silver tongue and your little hotshot credentials. I know that you're there to intimidate me.
Did God tell you to take your wedding ring off?
Yes, I believe he did. I'd been seeking the Lord for quite a while in our marriage, and I felt that night when I was praying, the Lord say that it was done. And I didn't obey right away because I was kind of in shock.
Is it possible you're just having an affair?
I think it's a fair question, and I can absolutely understand why someone would ask me that. And I think from the outside, from a secular point of view, or even most mainstream Christians would look at it that way, and I understand that.
And then you've just decided to go have children with someone else. And now you have a baby, right?
Yes.
So you have a husband that the state recognizes, and now you have a rib, and now you have a baby with the rib. So you got what, a baby back, baby back, baby back. But if that doesn't work, then you have nothing from that.
I'm trying to live my life relying on the Lord. So I'm not really looking forward to like, oh no, if this goes wrong, what's going to happen to me financially or whatever. Like, I'm relying on the Lord today and seeking to obey
I
the
get
Lord
that, but I'm one of those people that believes pray to God but row for the shore. You got to take care of yourself too.
I would like to say something because I have asked her afterwards, what did I do wrong to warrant God telling her to throw her husband away? And she couldn't give me an answer, and the only answer she gave me was, you need to pray and ask God and let God tell you. So to this day, I don't even know what I did wrong as a husband.
I also another time said I would love to sit down and have a private conversation with you, that I didn't think it was appropriate to discuss it in front of the kids, that I didn't think you tried to have the discussion with me in front of the kids.
There was not a discussion in front of the kids.
Well, you certainly shouldn't do that in front of the kids, and if she is offering you to have a private conversation about that, I certainly think that would be a constructive thing to do. The two of you need to sit down with someone not affiliated with this ministry, that is consistent with your values, put all of this on the table, and discuss it.
I would love to do something like
And,
that. I've been begging him for face-to-face. Let's sit down and talk like reasonable adults.
I'm willing to do that.
Matt O'Connor is here. He's the attorney who's representing James in his custody battle. Matt, this would be something that is constructive, and hopefully something could be resolved on the criminal side of this as well, true?
Not while Doug Perry's involved, because everything's about Doug, is typical megalomaniac.
We've never met before, have we?
We've never met, sir, and you've made many quotes about the ministry and other things. You've never been to our ministry. You've never been to one of our fellowship meetings.
Let me speak to him for a minute. Okay. If you want to yell at him in a minute, I'll give you time.
Because
okay, go ahead.
It's important because they keep throwing up these things that are inaccurate. They talk about the parental kidnapping. Those charges were dismissed.
I said in my personal opinion, and there's a reason I said that, because I understand legally the charges have been dismissed, but it is still my personal opinion that he kidnapped my children.
Well, a judge ruled there wasn't even probable cause, and as Dr. Phil, as you know from your consulting days, that's a very low standard, and the judge found that Mr. Todd had good cause to remove the children from the home. So we were handcuffed.
No, he did not find that he had good cause to remove the children, because that would have required a trial, and that would have been a verdict by the judge.
What everybody's not talking about, we're talking about that gentleman who doesn't really need to be here. What we need to be talking about is what's best for the kids. We're talking about children who are living in the equivalent of a homeless shelter.
Sir, I'm really not impressed by your silver tongue and your little hotshot credentials. I know that you're there to intimidate me.
What we need to be talking about is what's best for the kids. Yes. Nobody's even mentioned that. You're talking about kids who are living in
absolutely mentioned what's best for the children, including that I'd like for them to have a relationship with their father.
Helen, I really do want to talk to him, and you're seriously... I'm going to do it. You cannot filibuster. I am going to talk to him.
I'm sorry.
She's not a robot. Let me just
I'm not a robot.
All right, go ahead.
We're talking about children who are living in the equivalent of a homeless shelter right now. And up until we were able to address the criminal charges and the court ruled and those were dismissed, there wasn't a lot we could do, and James alluded to that. Now that we have that done, we're doing what any lawyer and any father, as James would do, is try to get the kids out of that environment.
Well, here's a list of the dangerous situations that James says that he has witnessed. A photo member currently residing in the compound stabbed another member 5 times.
He didn't witness that.
That was years before.
Members are known to participate in wife swapping.
That's his personal opinion.
Jennifer's spiritual husband owns assault rifles and boasts about carrying a gun at all times.
He does own a rifle and a handgun,
Jennifer admits to having Oklahoma bombing suspect Greg Weiler around her children.
I said he lived in the townhouse complex. I didn't
children
really say
have allegedly exhibited strange behavior, including inappropriate touching.
That's just
children are allegedly at risk of physical and mental harm. Children have allegedly been verbally abused by members.
I would love to hear specific examples.
Jennifer allows people from compound to sleep in her home without regard for safety of the children. Those are the things that he says he is concerned about.
Sir, I'm really not impressed by your silver tongue and your little hotshot credentials. I know that you're there to intimidate me, and that I really sincerely believe you don't have his best interest at heart. You're here to make a name for yourself. And that,
I think the facts
I think you're going to answer for someday to the Lord. Because if you had his best interest in heart, you would be trying to talk some sense into this man that the charges that he's making are ludicrous.
Are you concerned about what they're exposed to?
No, I'm not concerned about what they're exposed to. I believe that I need to be diligent as a parent, period, regardless of where I live.
For the record, with all of this mess going on, I am still willing to reconcile with my wife taking on the responsibility of even a new baby that's not even mine, because I recognize that my wife right now is not in a sound mind.
I think you know me well enough that I am stubborn and hard-headed, and I tend to not listen to anyone tell me what to do. The only one that has been able to get me under submission is the Lord.
Next, we're going to talk about something else. The family of a young man currently incarcerated for plotting a criminal act they believe was inspired by Doug Perry's teachings. We'll be right back. Doug Perry is a cyber preacher who has over 900 cyber sermon videos on YouTube. He claims his ministry is all about good works, but there was a criminal plot that made headlines that the family of the individual attribute to him. Now, what they're talking about is Doug made some comments in one of his cyber sermons. Now, clearly, I looked at this, and clearly it was an analogy. It was not something you were assigning or advocating. It was an analogy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's take a look at the news piece first, then we'll look at the analogy. Take a look.
Greg Weiler is an example of one of my worst fears come true.
Police say they have arrested a man who had detailed plans to burn down every church up in Miami. Gregory Weiler II is being held without bond tonight, accused of violating Oklahoma's anti-terrorism laws.
Police say they recovered a hand-drawn map from Weiler's motel room with the locations of all 48 Miami churches. Investigators say he also had enough explosives to carry out his plan and a detailed journal with plans to, quote, remove church buildings from the U.S. a tiny bit at a time.
He had materials to make 50 Molotov cocktails and plans to blow up 48 churches. Okay, so this is an individual who I saw deteriorate. He's getting drunk in the basement in Doug's house, and next thing I hear is he's been arrested.
Let me be real clear. Nobody's a member of FOTM. Greg was not a member of anything. He stayed at our homeless shelter, and we loved him. Nobody funded his trip. I believe that the whole idea was demonically inspired. It has been used as ammunition against us. It's certainly doing harm to his life, but otherwise nobody was really hurt.
I believe that FOTM has a very high potential of doing something very drastic. This gives them a very high probability of being like the next Jim Jones or the next David Koresh or the next Heaven's Gate, of having something crazy happening because of the bizarre rituals and the bizarre beliefs that they hold.
Well, Gregory Weiler's family declined appearing on the show because they claim they're fearful of Doug Perry, but they sent a videotape message. Here it is.
Due to our safety, we have decided not to be on the show in person. Doug says that something needs to be done, and something that's probably going to cost a lot of people their lives.
Doug compares an analogy of aircraft carriers to churches. He suggests bombing an aircraft carrier would quickly change its course, which would tend to make us believe he's referring to the bombing of churches. To a vulnerable, mentally ill Greg, this could come off as a chance for him to prove himself as a follower of Doug's teachings. In a person of Greg's state of mind, he can easily take this literally.
We don't want anyone ever to have to go through all the hurt and worry and stresses that we and other families have gone through.
Rick Ross is the founder and executive director of the Rick A. Ross Institute and an expert on cults, controversial groups, and movements. He says he's very familiar with Doug Perry and the Fellowship of the Martyrs. What do you think's going on here?
I really question what's going on at FOTM. I question the kind of influence that is existing there. And quite frankly, at times in the way in which you come across, you're not taking responsibility. And this young woman, Jennifer, seems to be here, and you're the puppet master, Doug.
He's my puppet master? You're seriously going to sit there watching me on stage thinking he's my puppet master?
Yes, that's the way that you've been handling yourself, in the way you berated the attorney, in the way that you talk over people.
Trust me, I've been waiting to do
Doug,
that.
you kind of sit back there content to
I have not even
happen.
discussed with Doug Perry
coach her,
my opinions as a lawyer here. He had nothing to do with that. And I can tell you I personally disagreed with him numerous times.
To come visit anytime and talk to people. They do not believe that whatever
I don't need to smoke to know that smoking is not a good idea. I don't need to go to FOTM to find out that FOTM's a bad idea. And you need to take responsibility for the people's lives that you have harmed. Jennifer, is Doug ever wrong?
I've disagreed with him more than once, sir.
Can you name 3 times that Doug has been wrong?
I can name muches.
Name something besides maybe his clothing style or his grooming. Can you name anything of substance where you would say Doug is wrong?
There are some doctrinal things that I disagree with Doug.
Pardon?
There are some doctronal things that I disagree with Doug.
There's nobody there that agrees with me on everything, and I don't need them to.
He's not asking you.
What are they? Can she speak for herself?
Oh, I can speak for myself? Y'all are ridiculous.
I've been wrong tons of times.
Name 3.
I don't owe you anything.
Name 3, Doug.
You're the enemy. You understand?
Okay, I'm the enemy.
You
have
both
spiritual
are
X-ray
intent on
visions.
doing harm to
I know
my
you're
ministry,
an apostle.
to a food pantry.
No one can disagree with Doug. And if you thought, but that's not being a cult leader.
You need to come and talk to people that live there.
No, but when you characterize,
that
Doug,
anybody
everybody
that has a response to you must be a cult leader.
If you characterize everybody and everything that Doug,
can you be any more patronizing and condescending, Rick?
Can you be ever wrong?
You don't know me at all,
Doug,
Rick.
Do you ever take responsibility for anything you do?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What?
I don't owe you anything, Rick.
All right, Doug.
You are here.
And who is patronizing?
You,
Who
Rick.
is patronizing?
You are,
Doug?
Rick.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe that people have mental illness other than being possessed, other than having a disconnect from God?
Absolutely.
And so there are people that come that in fact need treatment, maybe need medication, maybe need guidance away from you towards traditional treatment.
Absolutely.
And would this young man have been one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't.
And this young man, you said he's an adult and he made up his own mind. But the fact is, if he's incapacitated, then he is not capable of giving informed consent.
Well, there's a whole lot of gray area between adult and incapacitated. There's a whole lot of space in there for other people to misdiagnose too, make bad decisions, over-medicate people.
Well, the fact is that you may not be qualified to make that decision.
No, all I can do is love him. And if he shows up on my doorstep, I'm going to love him. I'm going to let the parents know that he's there. I'm going to let the parents know that he's safe. I coordinated with him, talked to the phone with him a lot of times.
But he's not safe if what he needs is treatment and he's with you instead. That's the point. You said there were two things you wanted people to know about this ministry. What were they?
We're doing a lot of good stuff. There are 3,000 people a month getting fed through our food pantry, 1 million pounds of food. There are people that would be dead under bridges, frozen to death if we hadn't taken them in. We're trying to do something different than chandeliers and new gymnasiums and cathedrals and try to live out what Jesus said to do, to care for the least of these.
We're going to take a break, and when you come back, I'm going to tell you the one thing you've said that I found the most offensive and most outrageous thing you've said that I simply cannot get past. We'll be right back. Well, we've been talking today about the Fellowship of the Martyrs. There's been a lot of talk about whether this is a cult or whether it's not. I'll let you make up your own mind about that. I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in freedom of speech. And, the internet is an interesting phenomenon, don't you think? It gives everybody that's got a computer and a camera a platform where they can get up and talk about anything that they want to talk about. Now, earlier I played several excerpts of Doug's sermons for him to comment on and react to. There's one other that, frankly, is just offensive to my sensibilities.
Last night, I went out and prayed that God would kill everybody on the planet.
That's just stupid.
You want some context for that?
No, I don't care what the context is. What I care about is, you apparently think it's funny, but what I hear, in the absence of real leadership, there are certain people in this world that'll follow anybody, and that's dangerous. But what I just heard is some guy with a camera. It's interesting because this morning I prayed that God would watch over you, and specifically you.
I prayed for
you,
too.
I prayed that God would watch over everybody that's up there in Liberty, Missouri. And then you get on the internet and pray about that.
That they would die to their flesh.
That's just stupid.
Not that
that's
their
reckless.
Heart would stop beating. Not that they would blow up.
It's just a way to draw attention to yourself. And you ought not do that.
That is so out of context.
You just ought not do that. You just ought not do that.
I'm sorry if you're offended, but you're offended about a half of a sentence taken out of context.
Yeah, I'm offended by the way you're using this platform to draw attention to yourself. If you want to go do good works, go do them. But don't use this to draw attention to yourself, and in so doing, misguide people that are vulnerable. And then they go off in a direction that you're just not around to clean up the mess.
I get emails every day from people that are closer to God.
I want to thank all of my guests for being here today. Special thanks to cult expert Rick Ross. Thanks for being here. So long.
Today on Dr. Phil, teenage binge drinking.
You say, I don't see the point in drinking if I'm not getting drunk.
Correct.
You get blackout drunk 4 days a week.
It's not completely blackout drunk.
They say they don't have a problem.
I can still stop at any time.
You can't stop.
But are they partying to death?
He's wrecked 2 cars and he's been to the hospital 17 times for alcohol poisoning. Take a look. That's your son's future. Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, free. Take it.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Go, Dr. Phil. Fraternities, sororities, parties. This is an all too familiar scene all over college campuses. It looks fun, doesn't it? But all this partying can come at a very high price as more and more underage college kids are making headlines for drinking themselves to death. Now, parents, hear me. Maybe you don't watch every Dr. Phil show. But I'm going to tell you this is one that you want to watch. If you have a child in middle school or high school, watching today's show could save their lives or someone else's. This is one of those shows you need to record because what we're talking about is not something that just happens to someone else's child. It could happen to yours. Last year alone, 1,825 college students between the ages of 18 and 24 died from alcohol-related injuries. Take a look.
Death of a student. Alcohol was found in his system. Been found dead. Unresponsive. Dead. Died while on spring break.
Officials are investigating the death of a student on the University of Pennsylvania campus. That student tumbled 30 feet inside a campus fraternity house.
Police say alcohol was being consumed at the party.
The Boston College student has been found dead. Grant disappeared after a house party on Saturday night.
UAPD says they received a medical assistance call at the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity. They found an unresponsive male dead at the scene.
Victoria Chung was found dead in the snow near her Ithaca College apartment in February. Just a day earlier, police found 19-year-old George Destunes unconscious in the library of a Cornell University fraternity. Police say alcohol appears to be a factor in both deaths.
A fraternity member at Georgia Southern University, Philip Christian, dies while on spring break. A mixture of oxycodone, cocaine, and alcohol was found in his system.
That last news story was about Philip, whose family is here with us today. They say Philip was enjoying his last spring break before graduation by partying with some of his fraternity brothers in Florida. But what started out as a night of drinking and fun turned to tragedy.
The day that we received the call that my son had died, it was the absolute worst day of my life. My son Philip was on spring break.
Philip went with his fraternity brothers. He was to graduate in December.
He went down there on a Saturday. The following day, Sunday morning, we received a phone call that he had OD'd.
Philip died from alcohol, cocaine, and Oxycontin.
Philip thought he was invincible. Philip worked hard and played harder.
I don't think Philip was aware that what he was doing could have killed him.
Paul and I thought we had taught him better.
When I saw Philip's body for the first time was reality. You can't deny that's his body laying on that bed, cold.
It's inconceivable to me that 15 of his fraternity brothers would let him lay down and die. Philip was a grown man. He's responsible for his own actions, but I will never forgive him for not paying attention and allowing him to die.
Philip's not here for the holidays, and that's obviously weighed heavy on everybody's mind.
We'll do the best we can and hopefully remember him in stories and jokes.
It was a 100% preventable death, and that was completely unnecessary.
When you lose a child, it's the absolute hardest thing in the world.
A horrific tragedy with a fine young man that could have been prevented. We're going to talk to two families today where we're trying to prevent what happened in your family. And I know this has been terrible. I'm going to ask you to help me help some of these families today. I'm going to deal with two college dropouts who partied themselves senseless. There's no other way to say it. Victoria brags that she can down 10 to 15 shots of hard liquor in just 2 hours. Now, her mom, Shannon, says that's a slow night for her daughter. Take a look.
At 18, Victoria enrolled at University of Colorado and started partying a lot there.
I started drinking pretty heavily. I was missing a lot of classes. I have a really high tolerance for liquor. I can take 15 to 20 shots and still be okay.
I couldn't do a quarter of what she does and still be alive. You have a drinking problem, right?
No, I don't. My drink of choice would be vodka just because it's the cheapest. I drink about 750 milliliter of vodka a night. I would have memory blackouts 5 to 6 times a week. Recently, I woke up in my bathroom. I don't remember any part of it.
Lori, I've gotten a million calls saying I want to stop drinking. I'm an alcoholic. I need help.
One night when I was blackout drunk, I ended up falling down. I got back up to hear a girl call me a stupid bitch. I knocked her in the face. 3 squad cars ended up pulling up, and I got in minor possession of alcohol.
I found out Victoria was pregnant 2 days ago.
I was very shocked when I found out I was pregnant.
You told us that you took a test and you found out you were pregnant and you were really drunk.
The night that I thought I was pregnant, I went out and I had a couple beers and I had a couple shots of tequila.
I don't know what to do for her because I know she's addicted to alcohol.
I am not an addict.
Okay, tell me why y'all wanted to be here. I assume you want to be here, you agreed to be here.
Right.
Because you don't want to be here because you don't have a problem, right?
Right.
Your mother has the problem.
Right.
And what is her problem?
She thinks I'm an alcoholic.
Okay, she thinks you're an alcoholic. And so she's meddling in your life?
Nagging mostly.
Nagging? Not treating you like the adult you are.
Exactly.
Okay. And are you just overreacting to this?
Not overreacting at all.
Why not?
Because she's an alcoholic.
Why do you say you don't have a problem?
I don't wake up needing to drink. I can go a few days without drinking. I don't have a problem going to sleep. I don't have nightmares like some of my friends do from not drinking. So it's not been an issue.
So you're self-diagnosing that you're okay.
Right.
And what are the criteria for being an alcoholic?
Well, as some of my friends would say, they wake up with night terrors, they can't sleep, they shake, they have to have it, things like that.
So your knowledge about whether you're an alcoholic or not is based on what they say?
I guess so.
The proverbial they. So they say that they have night terrors. They say they have body tremors. They say they have things that I don't have. And they are alcoholics, so by contrast, I know that I'm not.
I don't think I have a problem.
And you say, I don't see the point in drinking if I'm not getting drunk.
Correct.
Okay? You say you drink about 750 milliliters of vodka a day.
If I was drinking that night, then yes.
You can do 10 to 20 shots in 2 hours. You get off work around 11 or 12 at night, and you buy a bottle of vodka and you go home and drink. You get blackout drunk 4 days a week.
Not blackout drunk. It would be I miss spots of the night, or I can't remember certain things I say. It's not completely blackout drunk.
So you're just sort of blacking out drunk. Some nights, total blackout. Some nights, it's just hit and miss.
I guess so.
So your brain turns on and then turns off and turns on and then turns off.
Mm-hmm.
So having gone over that history, you drink 300 nights a year, or let's give you some extra. Let's say you turn 75 nights a year.
Okay.
3/4 of that time, it's blackout in whole or part, and you drink a little less than a quart every night that you're drinking, and you think you don't have a problem.
No, I could stop whenever I want.
Yeah. So you don't want to.
I'm not saying I don't want to. I haven't drank for 4 nights.
But you haven't wanted to.
Not in the past, no.
All this time. Okay. And now you say you haven't been drinking for 4 nights because you found out you were pregnant.
Correct.
Okay. Coming up, what are the legal ramifications Victoria might face if she does not stop partying while she's pregnant? Well, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Victoria is awful with authority. Her drinking caused her to lose quite a few jobs.
My mom 100% thinks I'm an alcoholic, but I know I am not one.
What I need to know is, how are you going to quit drinking on your own?
Because I have a child. It's not like I'm addicted to it, Mother.
My biggest fear is that Victoria isn't going to be able to stop drinking, and that even though she's pregnant, she's still going to drink and damage the baby.
Well, Victoria is a self-described, hard-partying college dropout who just found out that she's pregnant. Now, she celebrated the news with about 6 shots of vodka, 2 tequila shots, and 2 beers. That was the night you found out?
No.
Tell me about that.
That was when I thought I might be, but my mother always told me I could never get pregnant. So I never thought I could.
Okay, you thought you might be pregnant.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't sure, but you might be pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So you went out and had 6 shots of vodka, 2 of tequila, and a couple of beers. Do you see any flaw in that logic?
I mean, I probably shouldn't drink knowing that I possibly could be pregnant. No.
Why not?
It's not good for the baby.
Well, why? What would happen to the baby?
Come out deformed, something like that.
We got 250 people here in the audience, that none of whom you've ever met before, don't know you, don't have any axe to grind with you, they're not like your mother's friends that we flew in. Mm-hmm. Based on the history that I've described and what she's agreed to, if you think this girl has a drinking problem, stand up. So they seem to disagree. They think your mother may be right, except this kid right here. And your name is Nick?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to meet Nick later. This is one of your validators here. We're going to meet Nick later in the show. Now, y'all can sit down. One of the people standing up is this gentleman right here. Tell us who you are.
I'm Dr. Reef Kareem.
Okay, now, Dr. Reef, you are part of they. And do you have any particular expertise that would cause you to have some credibility in this issue?
I'm a board-certified addiction medicine specialist and a board-certified psychiatrist, and I deal with people that have alcoholism every day.
Okay, so you're a psychiatrist, you're board-certified addiction specialist. This is your profession. This is what you do. Why would you think that she has a problem with alcoholism? And this young man over here in the sweater is perhaps misinformed?
First off, you meet all the criteria. You've developed an incredible amount of tolerance for someone your age and your disposition. Secondly, there's an inability to cut down up until recently, and then when you were pregnant, when you were found pregnant, even the thought that you were pregnant led you to keep drinking. And in this case, you're drinking for 2. And when you drink for 2, you're looking at all sorts of neurodevelopmental problems for your baby, especially if you drink in the first trimester. And that's right now. So if you're drinking at all, even the drink that Dr. Phil mentioned, the drinking episode, the binge drinking that you had right away, that's problems for your baby. All of that leads to the diagnosis of alcohol dependence for you.
Mm-hmm. Have you had a drink since that night? Have you been 4 days without a drink?
Yep.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm 100% honest about that.
Yeah. You're telling me the truth?
I've been with her.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely have not touched it. Not since I found out 100% for sure. I wouldn't do that.
This baby could be born with alcohol toxicity.
Absolutely. There's 3 ways you can harm or kill your baby. You can flat out abort your baby, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can keep drinking, and eventually there could be a spontaneous abortion caused by you. Mm-hmm. And then the third thing is you can have the baby, and it can have fetal alcohol syndrome, where it could be mentally retarded because of you and because of selfish drinking. Mm-hmm. You can also have organ damage in that baby, the heart. You can have brain problems.
Well, that's not the only problem Victoria could face if she does not stop downing hard liquor while she's pregnant. Family law attorney Areva Martin says she could also be criminally prosecuted for everything from attempted murder to some sort of manslaughter. Areva, what happens if, because she says, no, she's not going to drink here. And by the way, I don't believe that. I think you have a smug, arrogant attitude, and that causes me to believe that you are a know-it-all and you think you can go do what you want to do, make your own rules, and just quit drinking when I know you can't. It is irresponsible to do what you did, and shame on you for doing it. You don't do that. You don't do that, and I tell you what, a prosecutor would tear your ass up. Areva, what would happen here?
You know, Dr. Phil, we're talking about both criminal and civil penalties for this kind of conduct. And legally, you could be facing criminal prosecution if you harm that baby. You could lose your rights, terminate your parental rights to that child. Listen to what we're saying. Don't end up in jail. Don't ruin your whole life when you have an opportunity to raise a beautiful baby. It's serious stuff.
So what do you think about what's being said here?
I understand exactly what's being said. I know that what I did was wrong. I don't want to continue doing that, and I don't plan to. I do want to change. I don't want to drink. That's the last thing I want to do while I'm pregnant.
You said you want to change, but yet you started this all out by saying, I don't have a problem.
Well, I just got reamed, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
So has that changed your opinion?
Well, I do have a professional sitting right in front of me saying I am one. Can I really argue with that?
You can, and your brain will try to make you do that. Because you know what I wish you would say? I'll tell you what I wish you would say. I wish you would say, wow, you know what? This is a harsh and uncomfortable wake-up call, but it sure puts things into focus for me. But if I'm a high-risk candidate, I am willing to subject myself to whatever help, monitoring, scrutiny, or whatever to ensure that I protect myself and my baby.
That's all I want to do is protect my baby.
Well, to do that, you have to treat yourself better. To do that, you have to stop drinking yourself into oblivion 4 nights a week. And that is terribly unhealthy. And if we take away the alcohol that I think you're medicating yourself with, and we don't put something back in its place, your anxiety and depression and upset is going to come bubbling back up, because I think you're anesthetizing yourself with alcohol every time. You think you do it to party. I think you do it to numb the pain. I don't want to punish you. I want to help you. If we're going to take the alcohol away, and you must, take the alcohol away, then you've got to come to grips with whatever it is that's causing you to rely on it so heavily. And I am prepared to offer you that help. I will get you help in your community as our gift to you to put in place of the alcohol that you must eliminate from your life. Will you take that help?
Yeah, I'll take that help.
Because we will make that help available to you. Okay? I want Victoria to keep listening because coming up, he got kicked out of the dorms for drinking. Now this 20-year-old has been hospitalized 11 times this year for alcohol poisoning. We saw him sitting down earlier. It's Nick. He's one of the ones that said, oh, no, she's not an alcoholic. She says she can quit. She can quit. He says he doesn't have a problem either. We'll talk to him when we come back.
On average, I'll drink a half liter to a liter of hard alcohol 5 to 7 days a week. I don't like the taste. I wouldn't drink it if it didn't get me drunk.
He's gone into the hospital for blood poisoning 11 times.
Well, Kathy says her son Nick started partying heavily during his freshman year of college. Now, Nick admits that he drinks every day, and he goes on binges with vodka, rum, and whiskey. Take a look.
My 20-year-old son Nick started drinking heavily his freshman year in college. He's gone into the hospital for blood poisoning. Last year it was about 6 times, and this year it was about 11 times.
On average, I'll drink a half liter to a liter of hard alcohol 5 to 7 days a week. Some of the crazy things I've done when I'm really drunk is pee my pants. I blacked out several times.
Spitting on the floor, throwing up, peeing in the sink.
On one occasion, I pulled down my pants and took a poop on the bedroom floor. My drink of choice right now is rum, because it's on sale. I don't like the taste. I wouldn't drink it if it didn't get me drunk.
When Nick is away at school, he'll call me up saying he doesn't have any money for food, so I put money in his account.
My mom has talked to me about my alcohol use, but the truth of the matter is she will buy me alcohol.
In October of 2011, Nick went to the hospital again for blood alcohol poisoning. He blew a .5.
I have been hospitalized. They say my drinking's leading to pancreatitis. It causes me to vomit constantly. They say that if I keep up drinking like this, that things are just gonna keep going downhill.
In 2011, Nick has been to detox 3 times.
I do believe I have a handle on my drinking.
He needs to stop drinking. I just can't do it anymore.
So you have a handle on your drinking?
Yeah, if I choose to not drink, I won't drink. It's not like, if I don't have money, I won't drink. I mean, if there's nothing to do, I won't drink. So I feel like if I want to stop at any time, I can. As long as I stay busy, I don't need a drink.
Do I look like I'm buying this?
No, not really.
Seriously, come on. And you know, part of the thing here is I understand that your brain isn't working right because it is toxic with alcohol. I get that, and so it's really kind of unfair to try to reason with you because you don't know what you don't know. Because what I want to do is grab you and shake you till your damn teeth rattle. And then I want to start trying to reason with you, but you really don't get it, do you? You've been to the hospital 11 times.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think it's more like, probably like 4 times, 5 times this year.
How old are you?
20.
What state do you live in?
Minnesota.
And what's the drinking age there?
21.
So you're not even old enough to drink, and you've been to the hospital, according to you, 5 times for alcohol poisoning. And you say you don't have a problem? Even through the haze of your alcohol-altered brain, that can't look like it adds up. Does that add up to you that this is not insanity?
It's still, the point is I can still stop at any time.
You can't stop. You can't do squat. What you can do is sit around and drink and your pants. That's what you can do. That's what you do, right?
I mean, if the opportunity is there, yeah, but if the opportunity isn't given to me, then I can't.
Okay, I totally agree. If I parachuted you into the Antarctic where there was no alcohol, you would be cured. I totally agree if the opportunity didn't present itself, but it does present itself, does it not? So I want to introduce Dr. Jorge Rodriguez. He's a gastroenterologist, he's an internist, and he says the chances are that Nick already has some sort of brain and liver damage from all of your binge drinking. Dr. Rodriguez, come on up, will you?
Thanks.
Come over here with me. Show us what we have here,
Well,
Doctor.
first of all, look at the 2 brains. One is much smaller than the other. Guess which one is the alcoholic's brain? Not the normal size one, the little one. So CAT scans are done of people that are alcoholics as they get older. All the time, their brain is smaller.
All right, well, show us what we're looking at here.
So here's a brain, all right, that's been cut in half. But look at this brain. This one, as opposed to this one, already has a hole in it.
So this brain is smaller.
Much smaller.
Has holes in it.
Absolutely.
And it is basically like a muscle atrophying. This brain is shrinking up.
Absolutely.
Which is why I said it's kind of unfair for me to try to debate with you because your brain is shrinking up, and it isn't even through growing yet. Seriously, your brain grows until you're 25. And when you do this to your brain during the developmental stages, then it doesn't get the growth that it needs. Okay. Go ahead. Let's take a look at the liver here.
Next, the liver. All right? The liver gets irritated. Alcohol sedates and irritates. It sedates your brain. It irritates your liver every single time. All right? A normal liver, if you look at it, looks kind of pinkish. All right? Kind of gross, huh? I can tell you're almost about to pass out. Good. All right. This one is a cirrhotic liver. If you were to feel it, this one's much softer. This one feels like scar tissue.
So this is an alcoholic liver.
Correct.
And that is very likely what binge drinking is doing to his liver at this point.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What do you think about this? Any comment?
I don't know. It's pretty straightforward, I guess. I mean, it's killing me, but I still feel like I have a hold on it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Because that's your brain. And you're impaired. I don't know what your excuse is. I don't get why you have been so passive in all of this. Nick says his mom, Kathy, actually buys him beer when she's in a good mood. Buys him the poison that is killing him. Well, I'm going to see how good a mood she is when I have a few questions for her when we come back.
Typical day for me, I'll normally start drinking within a few hours of waking up. I'll take a shot about every 15 minutes.
It's Nick out of control on alcohol.
We're talking about binge drinking, and we're talking with Kathy, who's the mother of Nick. Now, Nick's not drinking age yet, but he's been to the hospital 11 times in 1 year, 7 times the year before, for alcohol poisoning. Now, one of the things that Reva Martin, our guest here today, legal expert, says is that there can be both criminal and civil liability, of course, for the drinker who goes out and kills someone, but there can also be both civil and in some states criminal liability for a parent of a minor who allows and enables this to occur. True?
Absolutely, Dr. Phil. There's a concept in the law called vicarious liability, and basically it means you're responsible for the acts of another, and particularly a minor. We heard Nick say that you buy him alcohol. So you're enabling, you're creating the situation, you're helping a situation that could cause him to do bodily harm to someone else.
So we're just going to do a role play here, okay?
Sure.
We're going to assume that your son has in fact gone out and killed someone. Okay? We're gonna role play that, okay?
Okay.
And so, pardon me?
I have to step back. When he says that I buy him alcohol, I give him money, and there might be...
We're going to give you a chance to answer all those questions and some more.
Okay.
You're going to get to say anything you want to say, all right? You're going to get to defend yourself, and in fact, you're going to need to.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, as an officer of the court, why don't you swear her in for this role play here?
Raise your right hand. And you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay, you're ready.
Okay, now you're the mother of Nick, correct?
That is correct.
And your son began drinking at age 14, is that right?
That is correct.
And you knew that, correct?
I didn't know at that age.
What age did you find out?
I knew it at about 16.
Okay, and when he started drinking at 16, you knew he was breaking the law, correct?
Correct.
And what did you do?
Well, I tried to ground him.
Were you aware that your son was a falling down, completely disabled alcoholic?
Not until the last couple years.
Okay, but you're aware of it now, right?
I sure am.
You know it now.
Yes, I do.
But yet he continues to drink, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, in fact, when I say that he is an alcoholic, he's so much that he urinates on himself regularly, right? He loses control of his body. He's so incapacitated, right?
Yes.
You knew that at one point he blew a blood alcohol level of 5.05. Is that correct?
Correct.
And he's been to the hospital 17 or 18 times for alcohol poisoning. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You knew how impaired he was, true?
That is correct.
You knew how regularly he drank.
Correct.
You knew that he lost control of his body and his faculties.
Correct.
But yet you continued to allow him to do what he was doing as a minor in violation of the law and go out into the world and put others at risk.
That is not correct.
Did you ever do anything to
Yes.
stop him? What did you do? Tell us what you did.
I've called the police 3 times this year. I've tried to get records from the police. I've tried to do everything I can with every time he goes into the hospital, ask them if they'll please commit him.
Have you taken control of this minor who is your responsibility?
I can't control him.
Okay. When he stole beer from someone's garage, did you punish him?
He was not living with me at that time.
Did you punish him? You knew he did
Yes.
it. Did you punish him? What
when
did he do?
When he came home, I grounded him.
When he stole your car and wrecked it, you didn't punish him, did you?
I grounded him.
He stole your car. That's a felony, and you grounded him. How long did you ground him? Be honest.
A week.
Felony auto theft, and you grounded him for a week. And he wrecked your car, correct?
Yes.
And then he wrecked his car, correct? He wrecked his car, then he stole your car and wrecked it. So he's wrecked 2 cars under the influence, correct?
Correct.
And did you punish him?
Yes.
Yeah. You grounded him for a week? Did you do anything when he stole your wedding ring and sold it so he could get money for alcohol? He's had 5 tickets for minor in possession, correct?
Yes.
Who paid them?
I did.
He gets the tickets, and you pay the price.
Yes.
You say you can't kick him out because you don't want to see him on the street.
That's right.
Do you want to see him in jail?
No. I want to see him get help. And that's why I'm here. Because I don't know where else to go.
Do you understand that if he goes out and kills somebody and you answer these questions, which says it was completely and totally foreseeable. You knew he drank, you knew how much he drank, you knew how much it impaired him, and you knew he operated motor vehicles and had wrecked them on 2 different occasions. How do you think that's going to look in court?
Not good.
He's going to wind up in jail, and you're going to wind up getting civilly sued and forced into bankruptcy because you're continuing to allow that young man to kill himself. Wouldn't you rather him at least be off the streets and sober in jail than risking his and other people's lives on the street? Because you know he's going to drink himself to death.
I want him in a treatment facility. Jail's not going to do anything for him. He needs to be in a treatment facility.
He doesn't want to go to treatment. He doesn't have a problem. Does she have options?
She has lots of options.
Okay, and you are a lawyer?
I am a lawyer. Although you're pretty good too, Dr.
And
Phil.
you went to law school where?
I went to Harvard Law School, and I've been doing this a long time, and I'm here a lot, and I see this a lot.
So you have a Harvard lawyer here telling you do have options. Okay. Do you want to know what they are?
Yes.
Do you want to do what you need to do to get him help?
Yes.
All right. I got a question for Nick, and I want to show him where I think he's headed if he doesn't kill himself when we come back. Nick admits to boozing it up and partying on a daily basis. Now, you say you would rather him go to treatment than jail. Have you ever really thought you were going to wind up in jail?
No, I never really thought I would.
Come with me. I want to show you something. Kathy, you come as well. Step in. Look around. Every day, all day, that's what you got. This is exactly, precisely to scale. This is the cell you would be in. Step up, take a look. That's your son's future. He's got 3 choices here. He can die, he can go to jail,
Treatment.
or he can get well. Those are 3 choices. That's all there are. There's just those 3.
Right.
And one of the 3 is going to come to fruition pretty soon, I'm guessing. What do you think about this?
Doesn't seem too fun.
No TV, no video games, there's no music. You just did something that you really don't have much option to do in the future. Y'all come back down here. You know, we started the top of the show with a tape piece about kids drinking, and we talked about Philip, your son, your brother, that lost his life. Anything y'all want to say to Nick?
I wouldn't know where to start. If you knew what kind of pain that we go through every day of my life, you wouldn't do it to her, buddy. You would not do that to your mother. You got a big break to even have a chance to be on this show. I suggest that you at least try.
I'm going to have more with Philip's family and Nick and Kathy when we come back.
son Philip was on spring break.
Philip died from alcohol, cocaine, and Oxycontin.
When I saw Philip's body for the first time was reality. You can't deny that's his body laying on that bed, cold.
It's inconceivable to me that 15 of his fraternity brothers were laid out and died.
Well, Philip died on spring break. He was surrounded by his frat buddies. Actually, 15 of them were with him. He was drinking heavily. He was doing drugs. And there was a good news, bad news thing here. This wasn't his pattern, which means he wasn't very good at it. His parents, Paul and Lynn, not only blamed the fraternity brothers, but also themselves for what happened to their son. Tell me what have y'all come to in your thinking and feeling about this since it happened? I know you've turned it over your mind a million times, Palmer. I know you have. What have you come to about this?
It was an unnecessary death. He could still be alive if they had just watched him.
You guys do blame the fraternity some, the fraternity brothers some. Tell me about that.
I do. They were with him. They knew what he was doing. They could have stopped him. They could have watched him.
Well, you know, we received a statement from Sigma Alpha Epsilon, and I'm going to read part of the statement now, and I'll put the whole thing on the website so you can read it. But in part, the statement says, Sigma Alpha Epsilon offers its thoughts and prayers to Christian's family and friends. In addition, staff members and alumni volunteers will work to provide counseling and support for chapter members as necessary. Well, Tom Kane is the president of College Safety Zone. He says that fraternities and sororities need to be regulated because students' lives are in danger. Tom is joining us via Polycom. Tom, thank you so much for being here today. You're all over this fraternity issue. Tell me where the rubber meets the road here.
Well, here's the thing, Dr. Phil. These fraternities need to be held accountable.
Do they monitor this? I mean, because we know, look, I went to college and the fraternities were, I mean, it was just a big drunk out every weekend. That's what they did. And nobody seemed to police that in any way. Is that still the case?
That is still the case. And I don't know with a particular state or a particular college, but I will tell you, you know, you've heard the stories, Dr. Phil, where a student passes out or dies and they go on probation and they have perhaps something revoked for a period of time.
Well, what's the answer? What do parents do about this? Because kids are going off to college every year. They're rushing to, fraternities and sororities. What do parents do? How do they know that they're going to send their child to college and get them back alive?
Listen, I have a daughter in college right now, Dr. Phil. She's a freshman. And I've tried to do everything I can possibly do. But high schools need to take a proactive role. Parents need to take a proactive role. But I will tell you this, Dr. Phil, I put a lot of the responsibility on the colleges, on the administrators, on the campus police department. They are falling way short about educating these students. And they're not teaching these students what they can be in for on a college campus. And that's where the colleges themselves are failing the students.
Well, Tom, I agree with you, and I thank you for weighing in on this today. We've got to take a break. I have one last thing to say to Nick when we come back. Well, I would like to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to family law attorney Ariva Martin. Thank you so much for weighing in on this. Special thanks to gastroenterologist and internist Jorge Rodriguez. Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. And director for the Control Center for Addictions in Beverly Hills, Dr. Reif. Y'all do great work. Thank you for being here. And to the president of College Safety Zone, Tom Kane. And I'm going to put links up to everyone that's been on the show today. So if you want to talk to Dr. Reif, you want to talk talk to Dr. Rodriguez. We're going to have links there where you can reach them. You can get a copy of Tom's book, How to Protect Yourself in College, in bookstores today. Nick, what do you think? You got a drinking problem or you don't?
I guess I do, but I don't want to have one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think I have one, at least.
Well, you do. And, you know, Mom, I can tell you he's killing himself. And, Nick, you need treatment for this. You need serious, inpatient alcohol rehabilitation. You need to be properly detoxified, and then you need to go through a rehabilitation process to learn what you don't know about this disease that you have. I'm going to make you an offer to put you into an inpatient rehabilitation program immediately if you are willing to do it.
All right.
Give yourself a chance. Will you do this?
Sure.
I'm going to send you to the Origins Recovery Center. It is top notch. The only thing wrong with it is it's almost too nice. It's on an island. It's in the ocean. It's a wonderful place. But they're going to give you what you need, and quite frankly, Nick, they're going to give you what you deserve. It's going to give you a second chance, young man. Thanks for being here. So long.
On Dr. Phil.
I'm going to be a bride.
She's ready for her wedding.
Donnie asked me over the phone to marry him.
But she hasn't seen the groom.
I never met him in person.
Has she been hooked by a catfish?
We have done the research. Donnie claimed to be staying at the hotel in Cairo. Have you ever talked to that hotel?
No, I haven't. Donnie is in the Air Force.
In the cavalry?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel, does the Air Force have cavalry?
No, sir.
You've sent him a lot of money. These love letters, he plagiarized them.
Well, I did the same thing to him.
Yeah, but he didn't send you $50,000, did he?
Is this a love scam?
He hung up. He told me not to text him anymore.
Joy, can we try to call him? Donnie, this is Dr. Phil. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4,
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phil.
You a question. If someone asked you to marry him via text message, would you say yes and then give your social security number and driver's license information to his friend, a person you've never met? This is a real life story of my first guest, Joy. Take a look.
Donnie asked me over the phone to marry him. I said, yes, I will marry you. The military is saying if he proves that he has family, then they'll let him go. That's why we got married. So his lawyer made up a fake marriage certificate and sent it to the military. I had to give him my social security number, my date of birth, and my driver's license. In order to release Donnie, they need to verify the marriage certificate. We did vows with each other, a text message. He would send them first, and then I would repeat them back to him. When I got married to him over the phone, that's a new beginning for both of our lives. Donnie is stuck in Egypt, and we are getting married here on October 4th, 2014. He has even given me a $3,000 limit on a wedding gown, and he asked me, is $20,000 enough to spend on a wedding? For around here, yes, that's plenty. I'm excited to be married again.
So how did this blushing bride-to-be meet the man of her dreams? Here's their love story.
I met Donnie on Facebook. There was just something about Donnie that made me want to be his friend. Donnie is a senior officer in the Air Force. Sometimes I can't understand him on the phone because he has a French accent. Donnie is from Alabama. I've never been this happy until I met him. When I first met Donnie, he was in Nigeria. He tried to come see me twice, and then I got the call from the doctor saying that he got shot. I was devastated. I was crying for 2 days. I talked to him maybe 2 weeks after he came out of the coma. Since I have known Donnie, he has been robbed, shot, tried to commit suicide, hospitalized, in a coma, and arrested. He asked me for money about a month after I met him. I am paying for Donnie's hotel stay, but it's $650 a month. I sent Donnie money for medical bills, hospital, flight, phone. I have probably sent about $35,000, but he promises he's paying me back. Donnie's in Cairo, Egypt right now. That is his last assignment. When he gets home, we will move to Alabama. We will be living in a beautiful home with a wait staff. We have a relationship. We are in love. I never actually met Donnie. I believe in my heart Donnie is real.
Okay, well, I'm glad to meet you.
I'm glad to meet you too.
Why did you fall for him? What was it about him?
I didn't get all the love and care from my soon-to-be ex-husband that he was giving me.
So he was filling a void.
There was a lot of things that he said to me that I needed to hear that my ex-husband never told me.
Yeah, for example?
Donnie said he would always make me happy, make me smile. When Donnie met me, he said I was the person he wanted to marry.
Well, you say when you met him, online.
I never met him in person.
Well, here's a little of his background. Here's what we know about him, what you've told us, and what we've been able to find from his writings to you. He's in the United States Air Force, Troop C, 1st Squadron, 32nd Cavalry Regiment, Task Force Bandits. Never married. His parents are deceased. He was stationed in Nigeria when he was shot and robbed. Okay, military refused to pay his medical expenses.
I don't know why they refused to pay it.
Yeah. Released from the hospital eventually and is living in Cairo in a hotel. Now, he said he tried to resign from the Air Force, but he was told no because he doesn't have a wife or family, so he's in for life.
Yes, he's in for life.
United States of America Air Force said if you're not married, you're in for life.
Yes,
buddy.
the United States Air Force told him that.
On November 9th of 2013, y'all had a phone marriage. Do you consider yourself married now? And I know you haven't filled
In
out.
our eyes, we consider ourselves married by that text message.
Right. So he had this phone wedding, but he needs your financial help to get home. Do you make a lot of money?
I don't make a lot of money.
So what did Joy's friends and family think about her online boyfriend, who she has never met, but in her mind and his, apparently, they are committed to each other, a heart marriage. Plus, Joy went shopping for a wedding dress in preparation for her upcoming wedding. We'll see what happened during that visit when we come back.
I'm at a bridal shop. I need to get a wedding gown. I love it. I'm going to be a bride. Yeah, this is going to be me in a few months.
And later, I just know what you told us, and we added it up, and it gave us a grand total that you've sent him of $51,927.90.
The ways I've sent Donnie money was through Western Union, MoneyGram, and I buy those green dot money packs. Western Union stopped me for sending money because they said I was sending it too often. I do not believe he is scamming me.
Well, that was Joy talking about how she sends money to her fiancé, Donnie Four, a man she met online almost a year and a half ago, but has yet to meet in person. Now, Joy and Donnie have set their real wedding date for October 4th, 2014. And like any bride-to-be, Joy has been making plans. Donnie gave her a budget of $3,000 for her wedding dress, and she spent some time at Alfred Angelo Bridal Shop in Beverly Hills looking for the perfect dress for her special day. Take a look.
I'm at a bridal shop. I need to get a wedding gown, and I'm very excited, and I'm going in now.
What brings you in today?
I'm getting married in 2 months, and I'm looking for a gown. This is the one that I like online. I picked as my favorite.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely try that one on.
I like those, too.
Well, we can try that one, too. Well, let's get started, okay?
Okay. I love it. Putting the gown on makes it feel more real that I'm getting married soon. Donnie does not know I'm here trying on gowns. He thinks I'm waiting till he comes home to try on gowns. I'm gonna be a bride. I really love this one. Donnie would love it if it was blue on top, because that's Donnie's favorite color. Donnie wants you to show off my boobs. Yeah, this is gonna be me in a few months. This is the dress. This is the dress I'm getting married in.
So you liked it?
I love that dress.
When Joy decided to share her excitement about finding her wedding dress with her fiancé, Donnie, well, the call did not go well. Let's have a listen.
I'm asking him if I can call him. He's telling me to call him. Hello? Hi. I want to tell you why I went shopping. I was looking at wedding gowns, and I found one I like. I'm going to buy it. $1,500 it cost, okay? Babe, I'm at the shop now, and they want permission to use your voice. Dr. Phil show. Is it okay to use your voice? He hung up. He told me not to text him anymore. Why do you think he hung up? I don't know. He thinks I'm lying to him. And he thinks someone's trying to track him down. Oh, no. He's saying no to everything. He won't talk to me. He's thinking of killing himself. He's going back to work and leaving me. He's telling me I think he's a scammer and I don't believe him. He's not answering me anymore. No, he'll never forgive me.
So that call didn't go well.
No, that call didn't go well, no.
But I'm guessing y'all have made up.
Yeah, we made up. He was very happy I was looking at wedding dresses.
The problem was when you said Dr. Phil.
Yes, he was very upset about that.
So he knows who Dr. Phil is.
He knows who Dr. Phil is.
Yeah, because I'm on in Alabama.
I'm sure you are.
He doesn't really sound Alabama-like, though, does he?
He is not originally from this country.
Uh-huh.
He is from the UK. He came to this country as a kid with his parents and become a U.S. citizen. And he has a French accent because he spent a lot of time around French people and picked up that accent when he was in the military.
In the U.S. military?
In the U.S. military.
I read some of the emails that Donnie sent to Joy, and I found some very interesting things in those. We're going to talk about that when we come back. He went and cut and pasted this from a love letter site and sent it to you
Well, I did the same thing to him.
Yeah, but he didn't send you $50,000, did he? And later, Donnie's cell phone is actually listed in your name.
My name?
Did you open a phone in his name?
No, I didn't.
He has opened up an account using your name because the phone number you're calling is you.
Donnie always makes me feel special. He writes me romantic emails twice a week. I fell in love with you and I'll never let you go. I love you more than anything. I just had to let you know. He said I was his dream woman to marry.
And you see this box full of binders and this one down here? This is all of the research that we have done here to try to figure out why the military would do what they're doing, who this guy is for real, if it's who he says he is or not, to make sure that you're okay. Now, this first one has to do with money that you've sent to him. What we know is you met Donnie in November of 2012, right? And we know that in November and December, you sent him $3,430. What were you sending him money for right after you met him?
Could be medical bills.
From his being shot and robbed?
And they weren't feeding them over there either.
The United States Air Force was not feeding the troops.
Yes.
Then in January, February, you sent him $5,346.90. Then in April, May, you sent him $15,300. What do you reckon happened then?
His friend Fred.
What happened with Fred?
He got shot. Fred was in the same troop as him.
Same troop. I bet Obama's loving you because you're taking care of all this, all of these military. Okay, August through December, $5,302. January, February, $8,749 for a total of $38,127. Okay, however, you also sent him your tax return. You also said you paid his hotel bills for 12 months. So we added it up, and it gave us a grand total that you've sent him of $51,927.90. So this would be a relevant fact in our decision. So I'm going to put this over here. I understood that he really had stolen your heart. I mean, y'all have talked through emails a lot, right?
Yeah, we talked a lot of emails.
Yeah. And in this one, for example, he says, Joy, you make me feel special, like I'm your one and only. You make me feel like I'm a star in the sky lighting up your life. You make me feel safe when I'm near you, wrapped up in your arms. But he's never been wrapped up in your arms, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Well, we did a lot of research on what he has had to say to you. But here's the problem. We took this exact email and we researched it on the internet, and there are websites out there that list scam emails and content. And look what we found. He says to you, you make me feel special, like I'm your one and only. On this website, it says, you make me feel special, like I'm your one and only. Coincidence, maybe. He says, you make me feel like I'm a star in the sky lighting up your life. That's kind of a unique way to say it, right? On this website, you make me feel like I'm a star in the sky lighting up your life. You make me feel safe when I'm near you, wrapped up in your arms. Over here, he says, you make me feel safe when I'm near you, wrapped up in your arms. He didn't write this. We found the very personal, romantic email he sent to you on his website. This is one email, but it's suspicious. He sent you another email. How was I to know that you were watching me sleep? I awoke to see you laying there, and just then you smiled and said hi, and that just melted me. I wish all of my heart that I could wake to your beautiful eyes for the rest of my life. When you read that, did you wonder what he was talking about? Because that had never happened?
Yes, I wondered what it meant.
Well, we went to this website. He says to you, how was I to know that you were watching me sleep? How was I to know that you were watching me sleep? I awoke to see you laying there, and just then you smiled and said hi. I awoke to see you laying there, and just then you smiled and said hi. He didn't write this. He went and cut and pasted this from a love letter site and sent it to you as though it was from him to you.
Well, I did the same thing to him.
Yeah, but he didn't send you $50,000, did he? Well, we got to put that over here because that's suspicious, right? Everyone you see in yellow is plagiarized. This guy hasn't written to you. You are in a cut and paste romance. We got to put these over here. Do you agree that that's suspicious?
My opinion, no.
Okay, no. Joy says Donnie Ford, who is currently stuck in a hotel in Cairo, Egypt, is a millionaire who has a mansion with servants in Alabama. Now, we poked around. We did some sleuthing. We're going to reveal what we found out about that next.
It's 9 a.m. and we're in a very small town in Alabama looking for a Donnie Ford. Is there a Donnie Ford that lives here? Is this picture familiar to you at all?
Now, Donnie claims that he's stuck in Cairo, Egypt. All he wants to do, he says, is get home to his mansion in Alabama. The one he claims is equipped with a staff of servants. Well, you know what? We went to Alabama. We wanted to know what was really going on there. Here's what happened.
It's 9 a.m. and we're in a very small town in Alabama looking for a Donnie Ford. We got a tip that there's an address around here that is linked to Donnie Ford. So let's see, I think this may be it right here. Hi, hello, hi. My name is Mary Ann and I'm with the Dr. Phil Show. Is there a Donnie Ford that lives here?
No.
Is there a Donnie at all that lives here?
My name is Donnie.
Your name is Donnie.
Right.
But it's not Donnie Ford.
No.
This is a picture that we have of a Donnie Ford. Is this picture familiar to you at all?
No, I've never seen this person before.
And you don't know anybody by the name of Joy?
No.
Doesn't ring a bell at all?
No, I've never spoken with anyone by that name.
And how long have you lived in this area or on this property?
Over 20 years.
Do you know of anybody who, with that last name Ford, that lives close by in this community?
I really don't know any Fords. I tried someone at the post office area. They may know.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry to bother you.
Well, that's no problem.
I spoke with the postmaster. They do not recognize anybody who looks like this. So now I found a general store and I'm gonna head inside to see whether or not anybody recognizes Donnie's photo. We're in town looking for a person by the name of Donnie Ford. Does this man look familiar at all to you?
No.
No, and how long have you been in town?
For about 8 years.
Well, thanks so much for your time.
All right,
I appreciate it.
thank
Thank you. So, Dr. Phil, we've spent all day in southern Alabama looking for a Donnie Ford. There is no Donnie Ford here. Donnie said he lives in a mansion with servants in Alabama. There are no mansions around here. Our search has turned up empty.
We have searched tax records, phone records, utility records, everything there could possibly be. There is not now, nor has there been in the past, a Donnie Ford ever lived there at all. And the thing that concerns me is, you know, he says he's a millionaire. He claims he has a mansion. He claims he has servants. This is apparently an address that this person has used. This is it. This is the address. It's about a little over 2,000 square feet. I mean, if you got a maid and a butler, they're on a cot in your bedroom. There's no mansion in this city or around it. And we check all of the records. It not only does not live there now, there's never been anybody that's ever lived there by that name.
Have you checked his military record?
Oh, yes. We checked, we got a private investigator. Now, not just our producers, we got a private investigator here. And I want to share with you the findings that we have on this individual. Here's what we found out. Donnie's cell phone is actually listed in your name.
My name?
Did you open a phone in his name?
No, I didn't.
Okay, then what he has done is he has used your personal information and he has gone and opened up an account using your name because the phone number you're calling is you. Now, Donnie claimed to be staying at the hotel in Cairo. Have you ever talked to that hotel?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
So I don't have the number.
And this lawyer, this barrister, David Cohen, he says, thanks for getting back to me. I have all what you send to me, and I will start the processing by Monday because it already weekend, and I have a lot of work in court this week. And by God's grace, I will get back to you next week. I'd get me a new lawyer. That boy can't write. So his involvement was to create a false marriage certificate so Donnie could get out of the military because you don't get out unless you're married.
Correct.
Well, we tracked down the real barrister, David Cohen, who is an immigration attorney in Montreal, Canada. And he's joining us on Polycom now. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. I hope I can help out.
Well, I hope so too. Let's just get straight to it. Do you represent someone by the name of Donnie Fore?
Dr. Phil, I've done a thorough verification of all of our records. And not only do I not represent Mr. Donnie Fore, we never had a client with that name or actually anything close to that name.
Right. And did you ever agree to create a false marriage certificate to get someone out of the military?
No, I absolutely not.
David, let me again say to everyone, if you see the name Barrister David Cohen associated with something that looks fishy or some scam, it is not this David Cohen. He has had his name misappropriated. He is a lawyer of the highest reputation, been practicing for over 30 years. So just know this guy's on the right side of this, not the wrong side. And I thank you so much for coming on and helping me today. We're going to have to take a break. I'd like to speak to Donnie myself. I want to hear his voice. We're going to call him when we get back. Do you have your phone?
Yes, I do.
Can you dial it? So you can get the boy on the phone. You asked me earlier, did we look at his military record? The answer is yes. Donnie has made several claims about issues he's having with the United States Air Force. So joining us to address these claims is retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Bill Ajax Paris. Lieutenant Colonel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Let's just talk about this. Donnie claims that he's in the Air Force, Troop C, 1st Squadron, 32, the 32nd Cavalry Regiment, Task Force Bandits. Does the Air Force have cavalry?
No, sir. None of those names, except the word squadron, appear in any Air Force designation. That is not an Air Force unit, and no one who knows anything about the Air Force would claim that that was an Air Force unit.
That's a lie.
I don't know anything about military.
No, he does. See, he's got it right here. This is Lieutenant Colonel Parris right here. How many years are you in the military?
21 years.
21 years in the Air Force, right? If you're in the military and you get shot down on the street, do they just step over you and tell you you're on your own?
Absolutely not.
I know we've had budget cuts, but come on.
Absolutely not. The Air Force and all the services take excellent care of their troops in any medical situation, whether it was in combat or whether he was a victim of a crime. It doesn't matter. He will get medical care.
Okay, then he said that he's told since he has no wife or family that he was in the Air Force for life and cannot resign.
Yes, that is what he told me.
You married?
No.
How the hell did you get out?
I served my time.
You served your time?
Yes. There's no such thing as in the Air Force for life, period.
Better put those over here then. Now, we also had his voice analyzed. We had a linguistics expert listen to this, Dr. Alan Perlman, and he is not Hispanic, African, or European, definitely not a native speaker of American English, probably South Asian, Pakistani, Indian, or Bangladeshi.
Do you think those pictures might not be his?
Yeah, let me be real clear about that. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that this man is named Donnie Ford, and there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that he is in any way associated with this scam. Like Barrister David Cohen, someone has stolen his image off the internet, stolen his picture, and decided to use it, is what it would appear. We are showing these pictures knowing that the man in these photographs is not a scammer. We can add the voice analysis to this pile, can we not? So that's all the evidence that suggests that this is not what it appears to be. Here's all the evidence that he is who he says he is.
Nothing.
There's nothing over here. Tell me what you think, feel, and believe at this point.
That he isn't who he is.
How do you feel about that?
I feel very upset and embarrassed.
But you would rather know than not know.
Yes, so glad I came.
I'd like to talk to Donnie. So, Joy, can we try to call him? Do you have your phone?
Yes, I do.
Oh, can you dial it? See if you can get the boy on the phone. If he answers, I'll let you speak to him.
Okay.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, Donnie, this is Dr. Phil, and I'm here with Joy, and I would really like to talk to you because I'd like to share with you that there have been some real advances in tracking IP addresses down and locating users of that sort of thing. You know, in case you run into some chicken scumbag that's ripping money off of people. And so, given that that can happen, myself and some of my associates in the Cyber Crimes Division here in LA would love to chat with you. You have a nice day. All right, we have to take a break. A former guest who sent over $63,000 to a man she never met, well, she's back. Sandy's online boyfriend, Max Moose Advisor, claimed to also have been in the military but unable to see her because he was stuck, this time, in Afghanistan. She has a message for this very, very nice lady right here when we come back.
I've sent
cash to Max in cereal boxes.
You have $25,000 in cash you're putting in a cornflakes box and shipping to Ghana.
If not for Dr. Phil, I would probably be destitute.
Sandy is a former guest who sadly relates to Joy's online relationship experience all too well. Take a look at what happened when Sandy last appeared on the show, and also there's a surprising update.
When I met Max, he was in Afghanistan with the UN peacekeeping forces on a top secret mission. Every time we try to meet, there's always a problem. I've sent cash to Max in cereal boxes.
What did you say to yourself? You're standing in the kitchen. You have $25,000 in cash. You're putting in a cornflakes box and shipping to Ghana.
He had told me that his name was Max Moose Advisor. I thought it was very strange.
We cannot find one record of one human being in the history of the United States whose last name was Advisor.
By being on the show, I discovered that I was being scammed by someone in Ghana. I was very sad that this person wasn't who I thought he was. If not for Dr. Phil, I would probably be destitute. Since appearing on the show, I met a really nice gentleman who actually lives across the street from me. Dr. Phil told me to keep my eyes open to love, and I did.
If you're chasing this relationship, you're going to miss the guy at the grocery store or at your church or around the corner.
There is a happy life on the other side once you work through this.
Okay, well, Sandy, I'm so glad to see you and with a smile on your face.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. It's good to be here again. My heart goes out to Joy. I know exactly where she is right now, how she's feeling. But I want her to know that there really is life after this. You've just got to realize that Dr. Phil's right, and this guy doesn't exist. He's not who he said he is.
Is there any doubt in your mind?
It's not real. It's done.
You totally get it.
Yes, I get it.
Look, I want Joy to know there are people on her side, her friends at home who wrote into the show, and Joy's mother, Joyce. She's been listening and is joining us on the phone right now. Joyce, are you there?
Yes.
Do you believe he's real or do you believe he's not real?
I believe he's not real, but if I find him, he's going to be gone.
Well, I certainly cannot advocate vigilante violence, so you just have to make up your own mind.
You won't know when it happens, honey.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. Now, please meet Dr. Julie Albright. She is a digital sociologist who has studied this phenomenon of online relationships and scams. Doctor, thank you so much for being here. This is rampant, right?
It is rampant. It's changing its character, though. Obviously, deception's gone on online for a long time, but it used to be people just wanted to maybe hook up. An overweight woman would send an old photo 100 pounds ago, hoping that the guy would fall in love with their inner self. So that kind of thing went on. Or a guy would say he was single when he's married. That's the most common one. But in recent years, it's taken a sinister turn, and that's where you're seeing this. This is of a criminal nature.
You use the term sometimes called spearfishing. Talk about that.
Yeah, the idea of spearfishing, oftentimes this is a corporate espionage type of thing, cybercrime, where they're trying to get information, they're trying to get passwords. But this is a new kind of spearfishing. I see it that way, where they're actually targeting, possibly lonely women, women that are more vulnerable. Maybe they've gone through relationship troubles, and they'll target them to get money. It isn't about getting a relationship, which is what it was about before. Now it's about finances.
Yeah. Look, the thing I want you to understand is this. This is a whole process. You went through a marriage that left you more than unsatisfied. It made you vulnerable to this kind of thing, and because you had needs and you wanted them to be met. And you do have needs, but there's a healthy way to meet those. And I want you to let me help you by getting you some professional help back at home that will sit down and help unravel all of this for you. help you get a grip on it. I don't want you leaving here feeling like, well, okay, now I got nothing. That is absolutely not true. Let's work through this and be better for it. Okay? Will you let me do that?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Coming up, what's getting the audience this excited? You'll find out next.
Well, as you know, my wife Robin loves to give back. On Fridays, Robin is going to be sharing with you some of her favorite things. Now, the first item that I just really don't know much about, so you're going to have to do this one.
Well, it's the T3 Featherweight 2 blow dryer. And I am so excited to introduce to you this blow dryer because it is clinically proven to be healthier than air drying your hair. And it dries your hair fast and with results that really, really last. It increases body, shine, combability, and style retention. And I really love this blow dryer so much that I'm sending the entire audience home a blow dryer.
And if anybody wants to, you can have mine.
Okay. Sometimes I just don't have the time or energy to do my own hair. So I've teamed up with Blow, North America's original blow dry bar. Blow is a quick and convenient solution to getting your hair done, and they are open 7 days a week. They only charge $40 for a wash and a blowout, so no matter your hair type or length. They are the largest blow-dry bar chain in the world, and everyone should experience this affordable luxury. So I'm sending the whole audience home with a free blowout from Blow. So excited because I'm also sending the entire audience home with a 30-day skincare kit from my new skincare line, and proud to say that to help celebrate the launch of my new skincare line, I have created a lip gloss collection called Avery Lasting Love, named after our granddaughter Avery. And everyone in the audience is going home with a lip gloss from the Avery Lip Gloss Collection.
So they all get one. All right. I also want to point out that 100% of the net profits from Robin's lip gloss line are being donated to Robin's Foundation When Georgia Smiled and will directly help women and children affected by domestic violence. So, to learn more, log on to RobinMcGrawRevelation.com. I want to thank all of my guests today. We'll see you next time.